Hi, welcome to Project Epoch. Welcome to Project Epoch,
That's a
brought
great
to you
start.
by the Cruel Bull Critters Corner. I'm Bull Critter Steve, and
And I'm
tonight I'm
cool,
being joined.
John.
And
I'm
tonight we
Corinth.
yep. And we got Son of Pookie with us as well.
Are you going to do the eye thing again? He's like, I don't like.
It's okay. It's okay.
We
All
have
right,
Napster,
so
bottom left corner. Seth Green,
that,
everybody.
Yeah.
that was
Seth
good.
Green.
We are starting age 3, round 1 tonight. I'm going to pass the screen time over to Corinth here for a little bit. He's going to hit us with his sexy recap of last week's disasters. And
Yeah, and it was a disaster. I'll tell you that much. So,
Corinth,
and also we want to note a couple things real quick. We're going to start actually pre-recording this part right here so that we can just put it on part of the intro, so you don't have to hear all this. We can just get right into the game. Also, we're looking to get a few more followers. If you like what we're doing, click on that follow button, get your friends together. Because once we get to 50 followers, we can start doing a lot more things. We can start notifying people. We plan on doing a lot more live screens and all that stuff, live streams, and getting things going. Well, we want to kind of get more into this community. We're really enjoying what we're doing. So with that, let me get the recap real fast. We still have a whole bunch of avatars. It's not normally how our catastrophes go. Normally we have like some apocalyptic stuff going down, but we have several. We still have Lasermane, who is a lion anthropomorph. We have Barak, a dark elf. We have Whisper Letty, who is a hawkman, who is basically a slod lord. We have Archibald, who is I can't remember what he was, but he had to do a lot with like disease and stuff. He was a real nasty guy. We have Lord Mungus. I'm still not feeling that name, but it's hilarious. He's an orc from another world. We have Nyarlat, who is one of our Sogoth Avatar. We have Zysis, who is an insectile dragon. We have Temporus, who has come back from a prison break. He is from the Chronics. And we have Malpheus, who was one of the Coatls. You'll remember several rounds ago, unleashed a Disc of Judgment, caused a lot of problems. He's back in the game. We did have our catastrophe phase. So the main things going on is the Far Plain Island has now grown to overcome the world. It's caused a massive ley line. Lots of magic. This is going to be an age of high arcana. We also have the portals aren't functioning for this entire next round because the plants seem to be causing some problems. We also have the temperature is raised. It's a lot harder, more humid. And Nalrog has created a loosely affiliated nation of magic siphoning pirates. So we got a lot still going on. We have some alliances that have been made. We have the Sword of Alatun that has currently being held on to by Sinto, and he is in the halls of Geisig. We have the 7 trials of Ren to look at. And last but not least, we have the lady in the castle who is now out of her castle and is going to be causing lots of problems throughout this world. And with that, I'll turn you back to Steve.
All right, guys. So to start us off, as we tend to do, we need to get our initiative rolls in for who's going first. So let's go ahead and get some D4s. Honestly, though, because we keep consistently rolling the same things, I think I'm going to switch this to D6s or D10s, something.
Wow, you guys rolled terrible. Yes, I will be going last.
All right. Let's get Son of Pookie and John.
All right.
Okay. So it's looking like
John's got to reroll. Oh, there it
he
is.
rolled a 2. So it's looking like Son of Pookie, John, me, and then Corinth.
I think this is the first time I've ever got to go last. I'm pretty sure. So
all right,
I'm gonna have to go.
So given everything we've got going on, this is a good time for us to throw up the creation card. And then we are going into the creation phase, opening with Son of Pookie.
Yep. And I'm also posted in the group chat for the stream the link to the spreadsheets I've been working on. You can access it at any time and just see what we've been doing.
We'll be making sure that that is in our little descriptions in the bottom of Twitch for next week. Also, there's some other things we might be able to do with it, but it is there for y'all to look at.
All right, I'm gonna create an avatar. He's a member of the Slad Order, and he's infiltrated the city of Valhalla. He's a life giant. His name is Whisper Dern. So Durn.
Valhalla's the one by the Lake of Acid.
Yes, it's south of it.
Okay. Very interesting. Nice start. That's going to bring us over to John.
Okay.
He's like,
Oh, I had an idea for
There's a lot of cool things that can be done here. So
there was anymore when I left.
like, what's going on here?
I mean, it's the beginning of a new age.
Yeah, it's a lot going on here.
Oh no, I had this specific idea I was like thinking about all week for an order for my first turn, and now I can't remember what the turn was. What the...
You want to make an order that police time.
Yes.
I wanted to
the
make
time
an order.
cuts. I like that.
Yeah, I want to make an order in the Chronics now that they're back. Up here, yeah, their whole place is back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so the Avatar Temporis creates an order.
Mm-hmm.
To collect all of the strongest of the time magic artifacts and things and prevent people from using them. He's like outlawing them, not to because he has some any moral or ethical reasoning against it, but rather that he wants to make sure no one else can like
blow shit up.
Yeah, screw stuff up with it.
So kind of like the Brotherhood of Steel or something from Fallout. They want to hold that technology away from the grander world.
Yeah, or something kind of like a Legends of Tomorrow, like the time people who did all that stuff.
So
kind of
yeah,
a neat idea. Do you have an idea for the name for that order?
Yeah. I think Bruja. I wanted to call him the Bruja, but I was then informed that the true Bruja were different than the Bruja, which I always thought ignorantly that the true Bruja were just the first Bruja.
Not all of us are that delved into the World of Darkness lore, so it's okay. So true Bruja, though?
Well, you could run me on some Hunter, although the lore in there is pretty much all fake. It's all like misinterpreting information from other books.
I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know. Did we have a language base for this race? I really thought Joey left. Lead forward.
He just left the whole damn group.
Yeah, I'm not going to call them time cops, but that's pretty much what they are in a nutshell. So,
but true Bruja.
By the way, the reason my camera's down is because I'm eating. I don't want everyone to have to watch me fucking.
Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead and say Bruja and just call it that. Because first off, Bruja is witch, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like Bruja can be a nod to true Bruja because of the time relation. And if somebody's like, well, it's not actually true Bruja, but like, well, guess what? I put it in the dang thing. I said Bruja in the first place. That's my nod.
We're not playing World of Darkness. We're playing God. We're playing something. We're not sure what we're
playing. It's a nod. I shouldn't have to go this much into validating it.
Yeah, I'm validated.
Okay. I like where you're going with this. So for my creation phase, I'm actually going to create an avatar of the Bruja order.
Which race is he?
He is Chronics.
Chronics.
But the time manipulation and how in a lot of D&D stylized settings that really plays along with messing around with the negative energy plane.
Yeah.
This is actually Chronix who, in his initial thought process, doing the right thing, set down by Temporis, actually gets himself infected with the negative energy plane. So he is a Chronix that is infected by almost like you know how in Legend of the Five Rings there's that consistent existence of the nothing that wants to return everything to non-existence.
Yep.
All right, and since we're using Bruja and it's a very Spanish-directed naming process, his name is going to be Nulidad, N-U-I or N-U-L-I-D-A-D.
EAD. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Null Daddy.
No daddy.
And with that, we're going to pass the ball over to
Lord.
Corinth.
All right. So since we have this far plane stuff going everywhere, I kind of see Yule. He's kind of he spread his seeds out everywhere. So I could envision a world where the Trents and the far plane foliage merge together, and so it's going to be something called, I want to call the order a life stream. So they
A
are
live stream?
life stream, as
Oh.
in no, not a live stream, so like live stream. And it's basically, it's almost like a sentience that is forming between like the plant-based creatures here and like a awareness of the world itself. So that's my turn.
All right, and with that done, that takes us out of the creation phase and over to the command phase. And that's going to bring us back to Sonapuki, but we're going to have a second for the card to be up so people can see what's going on with that.
Yeah, whenever you pick wherever your idea takes you, Joey, I'll just switch it back over to the image.
All right. The Bruja create an army of time cops, time police, time militia.
Okay, so quick, does that mean they use time to police, or they police time?
They police time, much like the Jean-Claude Van Damme vehicle from 1995. Stay out of occupy same space. Look at me, I'm still kicking. I must be on Broadway.
I love Van Damme references.
She looks just like the
Everything about Van
Vomers.
Damme references.
Who are the Vomers? See those two red spots?
All right. And with them forming the time police, that's going to bring us over to John. Bull Critter John, what do you have for command phase?
He's like, shit.
I'm gonna have the. Do we have a name for said League of Pirate Nation pirate folk stuff?
We do not. It's just a loosely affiliated nation.
And who are these mainly composed of?
They're
Mostly the orcs.
predominantly the Nullrogs, but pretty much anyone that's disconnected.
Well, I was thinking about the mongrels that we had from before.
The Mongrel folk?
Mongols.
No, we have
Oh,
some
Mongol
Mongol
folk.
folk too.
That's
yeah.
right, yes.
We called them something else. What do we call them? They're I put mongrel folk down because I'm a butthead. You guys went with the offshoot of the name for the Tsumitsu creations from.
Oh, the Vizide.
The Vizide. Yeah. So there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Vizide. Wait, where are I thought they were all over the place too, the mongrels, or did they? They didn't have a location. They left. Yeah. I'm gonna have the can I just say that the Viside part of the Viside are really filling the free nation of piracy stuffs,
Sure.
and
Sure.
so
Why
they're
would you
going
be able to?
advance technology into like guerrilla warfare ships and join their stuff into the
So the Viside are going to advance technology and advance like warfare.
like guerrilla naval warfare, or we can just say naval warfare. But I didn't want to be so broad and be like they're the best at all navy. I was just like
But-
quick hitting freebooting ships, like
They
Well,
advance at naval skirmishing.
yeah, skirmishing, naval skirmishes. But I really feel like they're not
Focusing
actually.
predominantly on marine tactics.
Yeah.
All right. So, given that the Chronics have a vast knowledge of the history of the world through their connection with Temporis, the Bruja Order, being led by Nolodad, is going to send an expedition down into the Underdark where Malthius found the Heart of Shadow.
Okay.
And they are going to build, like, not the Chronics themselves, but the Bruja are going to set up their central base of operations around the Heart of Shadow.
Okay.
And that base of operations is where they're going to take every piece of like time magic technology stuff that they're taking away from people and literally lock it in with the Heart of Shadow
Where's the Heart of Shadow?
in the Underdark.
Oh, okay. Is this?
We never put it on the map. It's something that Malthius found when he left the.
I think it's more over in this area.
I got a
where I'm
big map.
thinking. Left
Which area?
of the
Left.
left of the former Lake of Acid.
Ah. Oh, okay.
There,
Gotcha.
there.
That's funny. That's where I was first at when I asked.
All right. Let's see. We have
Corinth.
order. Yeah, live stream. Let's see. The live stream is going to start purifying the lands of undead. They're going to start branching out. They're going to start trying to kill off zombies and shit.
That's that new Sogoth order.
Yes, Sogoth and Trent order. And that's what I got for me. And I believe we're on Conquest.
Yeah, that brings us over to the Conquest phase.
I'm so not used to you going last.
So we're just flying through this stuff here, but
yeah, we say that every time. I think we're going to be like, "Oh God, Jesus!" Resolution phase.
It's the resolutions that get us. That's where we start really going crazy with it.
Yeah.
But since we're on the Conquest phase,
Yeah, the pirates create a pirate army.
we're going to start with Sonapuki.
The pirates create a pirate army, like a
Pirate army.
Yep. Yeah, pirate army if you're going to fucking,
All
pirate
right.
shit.
John.
I'm also going to have. I think we talked about it over here. The pirates, not the Vasad, but the pirates themselves. A base of operations.
All right. Where do you want that base of operation at?
Movement modifier. Okay. Well, shit. I'll just have them claim
'Cause I
Or
think they're already on. You want okay? Because I know like they were over here more on the other island south of it. But that makes sense to migrate over to that area.
where
They originally started on like north of the island right above the eye.
above the eye?
Above the eye, yeah, but where you're at is fine. That makes sense. They would have migrated over to an area with a lot more water.
Well, yeah, I was thinking something that because like they could access both the north and south hemisphere.
That makes
Plus we
perfect sense.
like it was kind of a little tiny paradise patch.
Yeah, because Mungus actually created a fortress around the sundial, but that's
He
not a
did?
good place for his water based stuff.
Mhm.
I thought the pirates were just like a disparate nation, not connected fully to anybody, but
Well,
like
no,
pieces of different.
yeah, no, Mungus formed a pirate. Basically, he formed a pirate nation.
Oh. Well, I was gonna. They have an extra. They have their piratey base of operations.
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, like they're two different things.
It'll be
Not everyone who's an orc is part of the pirate nation. But
No.
the idea of magic siphoning orc pirates is kind of cool.
The hard to traverse area, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Looks all craggy. So thanks for good pirate stuffs.
it does. All right, Steve, what you got?
Camera that's actually tripping out.
It's like, oh yeah.
I'm glad you added the actually.
Yeah, so me. I think that Archibald is going to form another army there on Chaos Isle. Another army of the diseased macaw folk, the mutants and stuff. Actually, wait a minute. Last time didn't Archibald gain access to the abyss?
Yes. As far as the antechamber.
Archibald is going to actually form an army of abyssally plagued macaw folk.
Abyssal plagued macaw folk. That's fun to write.
Yeah.
All right. Jesus.
And then Corinth.
Mm-hmm.
What is going? Why did the camera?
All right. So the inevitables are going to start self-replicating, and they are going to form an army because they are going to have to hunt down, Malpheus and Temporus, who now, like, Malpheus is somewhere, and Temporus has now formed an entire order around to protect him. So that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Little do they know they're merely playing games.
Yeah, little do they know. All right, event time. Pookster, who's still, by the way, the Pookster has started a fast. He eats only 4 hours. Like, he's got a 4-hour window. I have a 6-hour window now. So we're both starting intermittent fasting, but that's why he's eating right now, because bro's got to eat. So
he's gonna fire the Doomsday laser. What do we call it? The
talk about the Disc of Judgment.
Disc of Judgment, which is now infected with all the plague spreading fungus. I'm gonna fire that thing.
Where are you gonna fire it?
He's gonna fire it at the spot where the time artifacts.
Are y'all hearing his audio pretty well, or is it still playing pretty bad?
I think he said where they're keeping the time artifacts.
Okay. Oh, Shadowcar Wallace.
Well, in an effort because he doesn't fully trust the Chronics because he was around.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that they don't have access to blow the whole thing up.
All right.
With a bio weapon.
The bioweapon.
At the. So he shoots it right, basically at. He shoots it at the Brujah main base, right?
Yes, is that where the Heart Shadow is? Is that the base?
Yeah, that's the
Yes,
Brujah
yeah.
base now.
He's like, fuck your base.
Well,
It was.
it's weird. It's something that said like for resolution is going to be fun.
Hey, we're starting it off right.
No, the first thought in my head was how hilarious it would be. It's going to end up that they're like time protected, so they zip out and zip back, everything's fine. But all of the fucking area around them, the races to the north in the water, they're all fucked. Everything's polluted with spore, and they're just like, oh,
all right, John.
Ridiculous. Okay, so phase 4 events. I gotta make up some crazy stuff that changes stuff and does things.
I mean, you could also make up something not so crazy.
All the
Where's the fun in that?
begin to turn yellow.
Oh, what?
I call it fall.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
Event. So we have this is now a single island, right?
Yeah, it's well, first it got blowed up, and now it's like an overgrown mass of the weird far plane growth.
Far plane
And
growth.
it's the epicenter of all the ley lines that have stretched out throughout the world.
Okay. Funky. So we don't know where the ley lines are, but we can kind of say where they are.
They're just stretched out across the world.
Yeah, kind of a little bit everywhere.
Do far plane creatures? I don't know a bunch about things like the far plane. I just had a quick question before I
think like Lovecraftian.
Lovecraft.
That's far plane.
Yeah. Okay. And are oozes non-sentient?
Generally, oozes are not sentient.
No, I mean the ones that we have left over in the. Oh wait, did the Lake of Acid change?
Yeah, it's been gone for a while.
Did it turn into healing? Are they still?
Yeah.
They're still acid. So there's creatures that literally are like healing, solve, acidic, but not acidic.
I don't know if there's acid there like that. We never really. It's just like an area of like vibrant life.
You could create life oozes.
I was thinking about if the ley line came across the ooze, this latent sentience from this bygone era. So it's like a creature that was sentient at one time and kind of regressed out of civilization. I was thinking about doing something with ley lines and actually having a new race pop up of sentient, like far plane oid looking ooze creatures, but I couldn't know if they were acidic or the healing or what they were.
They could just be really weird.
Yeah, well, that was that. Really weird. Like far plane oozes.
So that's what we're doing is we're creating far plane oozes.
Will make you wish you saw a square.
So like these oozes are not even like completely globish. They're almost like Swiss cheese looking, maybe, or something like that. Like they just
I would say they start forming from the ley lines. So maybe instead of just Swiss cheeses, they're like weird oozes that are like the sap and weird shit from the ley lines.
Okay.
In Cronenberg.
So strange oozes form from the ley lines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When the ley line touches.
All right. So just looking at it from my end here, I had two ideas. Both of them involved messing with the far plane island, and I'm gonna throw the first one out here and see what y'all feel about it. I think Archibald is going to take like his most abyssally plagued Macafolk
Mm-hmm.
and take the entire army he just formed and essentially take it onto the island and sacrifice it just so it can spread an abyssal plague through the entire set of ley lines.
Would the healing magic of the Trents counteract any of that?
Given the hyper intense nature of the abyssal plague, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's resolution because we also have a tier thing, and then we have Treant plus new Healy Leyline far plane ooze. It'll all come to a head, but it won't matter because fungal spores will destroy everything, and the only ones left will be the chronics.
All right. So,
High
Archibald,
magic, high arcana.
huh?
It's high arcana.
It is. So he sends his
The army he just formed
of,
and sacrifices it to infect the entire island of far plane growth. So the plague spreads through it. It's like, stick the plague in the heart so it goes to every limb.
yeah.
All right, Corinth.
Yep. I'm writing all this down real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And sacrifices. All right. Well, I had something I was going to do, but that threw a monkey wrench in it, which is fine. I like it. So my plan B was the pure Maykaw folk reassume control of their island of Paradise Island, and using their knowledge of the stars and the time that they spend in stasis, they're going to basically tap into the ley lines and not like physically tap into it, but the energy of it. And they're also going to tap into the moons, and they're going to unlock an enormous amount of like magical nature within them. So they're going to like a high arcana is going to sweep over the pure Maykaw folk. So
I know what I'm doing next round for events. There's going to be some random explosions in the North Desert.
all right, we're about to. Oh,
We'll be moving to the Avatar phase now.
we are
right?
moving to the Avatar phase. He's already rolling.
Okay. D12?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. He already. Pookie already rolled for Laserbane.
So that is a explorer. So find some stuff.
Alrighty. Laser main is what, exploring stuff we said?
Yes.
We have any idea what we're exploring, Pookie?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
Oh, am I allowed to sing show tunes, or is that like going to be like?
Oh boy.
Not okay.
Just out of curiosity, Laser Main's the one that's over with the giant tree tavern and all that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Okay.
a shitload of Anthemorphs that just came back.
Yeah.
Like
a
the
bunch of
Anthropomorph Nation
Anthros
came back.
are just chilling there.
That's going to be some tumult.
Yeah.
Oh, our society was destroyed because
Yeah, Laserman go on a pilgrimage, and he's going to enter the Wailing. What do we call it? The Wailing Well, the place.
Yes.
Yes.
And when he goes inside, for some reason, he's transported back to the original planet that the Nil Giants came from, where his people originally escaped from. So he's gone ostensibly back there.
I dig that.
Nice. All right, John. What'd you get for Barack?
I also rolled explore. And so what the hell is Barack supposed to explore? That's all he's been doing.
Well, yeah, but he's investigating the prison plane, obviously.
Yeah, but I figured like
But does he find something?
there's nothing more to find. He found the access thing.
Oh, well, he lost his codex, though. Remember, he could get lost quite easily.
Yeah.
And
So
the prison plane expands every time someone super powerful dies too. And there's currently 2 empty realms, the one for Temporis and the one for Maltheus.
Yeah.
Barack the Seeker, and this might change in resolution, but begins to start his journey into Barack the Mad when, in such a similar fashion too, now that I think about it, to Centenalian, he finds on accident traveling through said prison plane. It's not a control center, it's like a security monitoring center.
Nice.
It's like Matrix,
Like a wall of
old man.
Yeah.
All the TVs, all that. But what the idea is, it's a reference. It's a different type of codex. It's a reference of all things that have happened, that will happen, and all things that happen, including Brock and Brock's life in this entire plane,
jeez.
all laid out from start to finish. And that's where he is.
So everything's predetermined. They just don't know it.
Well, again, like I said, I'm thinking like he might be mad too, so I don't know how much of it is, or it could be illusion magic. It could be.
Well, so right now he finds a security monitor system in the prison plane.
Yeah.
Nice. Steve gets Whisper Letty.
Which one? Oh, Whisper Letty is
the Hawkman, who's your Slod Lord,
which is Army.
Whisper Letty can form an alliance. No, Army, lead an army, give an army specialized training, or form another army. He has the Senate Whispers, right?
Yep.
That's one army he already has.
He has the VIP lounge.
So naturally, now he's just going to create the Whispers in the Dark, an army of assassins.
Assassins. All right, I got Archibald. Man, I'd really like for this guy to die. Really need. I want to summon my inner John.
All right, do it. Oh.
Nope, that's a negative.
That's technology.
Oh Lord. Oh, jeez. What tech would he find from doing this? Well, he's going to find. Well, portals don't work right now because of the ley line. Actually, because he has infected the ley lines and the plants, he will find a way to leave this plane if he chooses to break the cycle.
Letty?
No, Archibald.
Yes, Archibald. If he so desires. So.
Cool.
All right. Now it's Pookie and his Lord Mungus.
Okay. What's 12?
Mungus.
He
Path to Ascension.
Mungus.
Well,
hey, who's Slightly Smog, by the way, in the chat room? I just saw that he wrote something.
While he's at the dial
It's
that used to be used to control the world, the lock mechanism,
Yeah.
absorbing whatever thermal energy is there. He absorbs so much that, like, the dial forms around him. It becomes like the clock master, or like I don't know,
The timekeeper.
And he controls the dial again. So the dial is now functioning again, and he's in control of it.
So he
Ooh.
basically does he merge with it completely, or is he just in control?
No,
of it?
he's in control, but like all the pieces of the clock like form armor on him, so he has like badass clock armor like all over his body and shit.
Nice.
Did so he found an armor, or he just dismantled and turned it into?
No, it
When
formed.
you,
It
just when
basically
he started
kind of
when he started absorbing all the energy from the area, it just kind of melded, it like formed on his body and gave him this new power. His ascension, so he's supposed to step up.
Yeah. It is.
Nice control of the mechanism.
Oh, is this my roll?
Yep.
Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna shoot you right down. Right off
Personal
you.
calamity for Nearlat.
Hey man, I came close to what you wanted. I couldn't kill him. What do we got? 9. So
Well,
Nearlat. Who's Nearlat again?
Neuralite is the Sogoth who,
It's Mystique. Yeah, it can look like anybody.
yeah, he had learned to turn into like inanimate objects and everything.
Okay, so he's not
Does he
dead.
get stuck as a chair?
No, I was going to say is he's not dead, but what ends up happening during the process of Archibald's abyssal takeover of the Sogoth ley line world, during that fight, where Archibald is trying to bring in the abyssal nothing, right? That's what I'm saying. Okay,
Nothing about nothing. Nothing is the Brujas.
the person wanting to bring the being of nothing in?
No, Archibald's trying to bring in like plague. He's just trying to
Plague.
like cover the world in plague.
I thought it was abyssal.
Abyssal plague, yes.
Abyss. The abyss. Chaotic demons.
Chaos.
Hell.
Yeah, a hell.
What
A
is
hell, but technically like for demons.
Well, then I wouldn't know how to do that. Is there a specific demon that would be coming through the abyssal hell plague or gaining something?
I mean, Jubilex is the lord of oozes. He's a pretty
Yes,
nasty.
we already went playing with oozes, but we can also just create our own stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
what I was going to say was that since this guy's the lead mimic, in some almost like an event of sorts during this struggle, mimics this thing, but when he does it, he like becomes it, like to either his advantage or disadvantage, and whatever the other thing was. So, but I don't know what a hell plague is. You know what I mean?
What if he? Remember how he was like one of these little worm creatures?
I'm getting low audio quality from you.
Yeah, your audio sounds terrible tonight. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Latency issue, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what it looks like it is.
Do you need to turn off Discord and come back? Or is that going to help? I think you just. Oh, never mind.
He moved.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot better.
Okay. So before, when he was a worm that walks, he could like disperse himself into hundreds of thousands of worms, right? So when the plague creatures come there and sacrifice themselves in this giant battle or giant explosion or whatever, he sends out his body as worms across the whole world. And these worms, like he sacrifices himself, so he's dormant now. But if these worms enter a person, they make them immune to like the transformative magic that Archibald's trying to do to the world. So if you get one of these worms in your body, like you can't be affected by the abyssal magic.
Okay.
Rarely.
Oh,
So he's not dead, but he's like out of play for.
yeah, his power is waning.
Use himself like a shield for everybody, kind of.
Yeah, I like that.
It kind of goes along because you sent the transfer to the Sugoth, and they're all about the life magic. So I guess he kind of bought in a little bit, maybe, and he did to do that instead of just die or just fuck it up or copy something. I don't know. Just an idea.
I like it. That's
I like
actually,
it.
That's really good.
I did.
So now, if you're a person that's immune to this disease, you're walking around with like a worm in your body, even though you may not know it.
And it's a far plane worm. And again, back into the other things like the oozes with the symbiotic relations with the
Precisely.
samurai lizard folk.
History repeating itself, right?
It gives you the
But like on
ability
a bigger
to
scale.
build orders and avatars off of it.
That's interesting. It's a very interesting play. So that brings us to John and Zasas, the insect dragon.
No, that's you. That was
It's
me.
you. John just rolled.
Oh,
Yeah.
John rolled that one. I'm sorry.
I
Since
gotta say
Pookie was
what happened to me.
Assistant.
yeah. My bad. That's me with the insect dragons. I don't even remember what the insect dragons are doing. So.
This guy was all about trying to figure out what the box was, like what the whole thing was. And he figured it out last age. That's a giant, like a prison system.
Yeah.
He was sent some mission
Personal calamity.
to.
Zasaz is also is Zasaz trying to follow in Ren's footsteps at all with the gameplay stuff, or is Zasaz doing its own? No,
I think Sazaz is a mechanism of some other greater being put into play to try to unlock the prison itself, or get a piece needed to unlock.
So, given that the
we figured it out too. It was the queen, remember, or the lady in the castle.
Yeah,
she was the one who did all of it.
So, given that Zasaz is affected by the lady, and is now in that prison realm, I think that the book that
did he ever make it into the prison realm? I think the door and everything got blown.
Yeah, I
off.
remember. He said he was down there with like
was down there while the
Rock,
fortress
him,
that
and somebody
Barak was
else
trying to build was getting messed up just as
So he found a way to slip it.
Matrix came out. No, actually, I think he got jacked up inside of that fortress and is actually imprisoned. But his format of being imprisoned is essentially becoming like the foretelling sage channeling device. So Zasaz is actually the book that Barak found.
So he becomes like a Jarvis, basically, like an AI almost. Like he's stuck in the system, and all he can do is relay information.
Which is what this was in a way
cool,
too
man.
for somebody. So that's kind of neat, like how that plays out.
So once again, he's not completely out of play. He just can't do anything except give information right now.
Well, that's the thing though too. It's kind of funny because whoever made the higher background story, right, that we don't know, could have sent Saz, but also understood in some point in time that Barak needed to find Saz to get the information back out.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of Deus Machina going on.
All right,
I rolled a 3 for Temporis.
Tempo is nation.
Oh shit! He creates a nation.
National effects. Let's see. What does nation say? Form alliance, break alliance, start war, broker peace, trade deal, assassinate figure of power.
Oh, I'm not really down for brokering peace.
Tempor.
Who is this? Temporis?
Temporis.
He's got a brand new enemy.
Yeah, he's pretty pissed off at the whole like undead thing that just blasted the shit out of his people. He's gonna wage war on the undead, and they've got to get rid of that disc of judgment. That thing's a problem. So yeah, he's gonna wage.
Lasermane. That's the Anthrofolks, not the undead.
No, Shadakar Wallace, the tiger one.
Oh yeah.
Shadakar Wallace. People always getting, just put down.
Yeah,
all
so
they
he's
want
gonna deal with the undead anthropomorphs.
Okay.
I thought he was going to assassinate the
son of Pookie. You've got Malthius.
Malthius. And the roll
Out.
is be a 3.
He also is doing a national effect.
He's gonna form an alliance with Lasermane and claim that the blast didn't come from him. It didn't come from his people. Somehow the device just activated itself, and now Temporis is waging war for absolutely no reason. He's innocent in all of this. They're just trying to live their undead lives. And the Animorphs should reunite as one people.
and their
this is
leader is
Malpheus?
currently
Yeah,
gone.
Malpheus.
So
Malpheus the Mad, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's with laser man. He's like, hey, I didn't shoot that shit this time.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
All right, and John, you have Noladad.
No, he
I
has
learned
Whisper
my
Dern.
lesson.
Whisper.
I have-
Oh, crud.
yeah,
Yeah,
who is-
Whisper Dern.
I know Whisper Letty, but again, Personal Calamity.
Damn, bro.
That's 2 for 2 on Personal Calamity.
Whisper life is the life giant slot infiltrator.
Yeah, he just emerged.
They just
I
showed
guess
up and
whatever he decided to do, he fucked up.
So the Slod Infiltrator, came across another Null Giant who was a seer who could literally see that he was an infiltrator.
Yeah, maybe he fucks with
energy?
what's her name, Ingrid. Maybe he goes to Ingrid, the tower or whatever, and he like tries to fuck with it, and she's like, "Oh no, you fuck with the wrong one."
It's present here.
There's levels, bitch. I'm far above.
far above.
Fuck with the wrong one.
And so that could give him an understanding to move slower.
Yeah, maybe she blasts him or like maybe she like feeble minds him.
How's it
She's
going,
like, "Bitch."
T'Challa?
Oh, he's finally back. Yay. He missed last week.
Uh-huh.
We're so glad you're back. It was quiet last week without
It's on
you.
the chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see the chat, dude. I can see the stream, but the chat is like blank.
I can see the chat, but it tells me that there are 2 users, me and
Hey, how's it going with Logic? How you doing tonight?
With Logic, how are you?
And that leaves me with Noladad. That's the last avatar, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's see me kill that which I created instantly, right?
let's
Here we
see
go.
what you draw.
No, I
You roll a 2.
form an order, destroy an order, or block the action of an order. Huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the abyssal. Not
No, this
the
is the
abyssal-
Shadow Bruja.
the Shadow Bruja abyssal
Mhm.
time lord person thingy.
He's going to form the Shattered Bruja, or the Shattered.
The Shattered.
Mhm.
They
They're just the Shattered. They are actually the people who survived the blast from the Death Ray,
Yeah, fucking shit.
and who have now focused their attention to feeding all of these time-based artifacts into the Heart of Shadow to essentially ramp its power base up, to literally bring a small portion of the negative energy plane right there where the Heart of Shadow is.
Oh Lord.
this
No,
is
I
what I thought
thought
he was.
Malpheus had like the Heart of Shadow. I'm confused.
Malpheus.
Like,
Well, we decided early on that
Essence.
the Heart of Shadow was like a gateway to like some
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of realm or whatever. But we
Yeah.
always said it was like a mental thing
yeah.
as opposed to actual like shadow magic. But
Yeah.
it could be like a psychic form of negative energy. That could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't manifest physically; it's only like mentally or psychically that it manifests.
That's right. That's right.
Like a disease, right? Like a disease of madness, like dementia,
Yeah, when you got
Dementation.
nation,
like the
I thought
imitation
you were
from
going to,
Vampire's Masquerade.
Dementation. That's a lot better than dementia. You're like, meh.
It could be like straight dementia. People could just start getting, like, oh look, I'm 4 years old.
yeah, feeble
Playing
mind
hopscotch, bro.
to a broader level.
All right.
All right, I have the first idea for resolution I had because of
The
the
best
Ingrid
part
thing.
about cracking on people with dementia is they won't remember it anyways.
That's integrity.
All right, resolution.
I was gonna say,
So-
I was surprised Temporis didn't assassinate that Nillidat. On the resolution, are we saying that Nillidat pulled all that off? Like underneath Temporis's eye, like I'm just like a whole bunch.
Nulla Dead works for Temporis.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. And when Temporis made I don't know, the whole point of the group was to make sure nobody time fucked him. You'd think he'd notice the dude right underneath him, like openly time fucking.
Well,
Well, he's
Also-
destroying the tech though, right?
He's Yeah,
I thought he was trying to destroy it.
No,
and,
no.
and honestly, Tim
conserving.
Force knows he could probably
Get all of his
go back
power
and fucking
together
fix
to
it.
use it as weapons against the whole world, or to get out, or anything. He just doesn't want anybody else to have them. That was the intent.
I thought Steve just said that he was destroying tech, though. Is he not destroying it? What's he doing with it?
What I'm saying is,
He's just feeding it into the plane of shadows.
He's saying is
Tim
that
Porce
maybe Tim Porce didn't want it all destroyed.
yeah, that's Tim Porce's shit. Then he's just like, nope, doing my job. Oh, yep, keep it up. That's why I was like, I don't understand how it runs on that rail for that long without. I really expected on Corinth's turn that he was going to assassinate because of.
I was going to do something, but then
Like I don't understand. I don't understand what your problem with it is, though. Like, what are you talking about? If he says it to the plane of shadow, it's secure, so nobody else can use it. Was what Temporis wanted. So as far as Temporis knows, the dude is doing what he wanted.
Oh, okay.
Literally. Like, what do you like? What
So
do you
it's
mean?
still a repository in the shadow.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume if the guy didn't want to get butt fucked immediately for what he was doing, he wouldn't tell his boss, "Hey, bro, I'm not doing what you want. I'm actually doing this." Like, wouldn't he say, "I'm sitting at this place to secure
Yeah,
it"?
but I assumed everybody knew what everybody was doing, as far as avatars go.
No, not always.
What do you mean by that? You think they all know what everyone else is doing every time they do something?
It
If they did, they'd all killed Archibald a long time ago.
Well, no, I mean, already just this round, decisions were made that, like, somebody had just done something across the world and somebody else immediately reacted to it.
Yeah, that's a reaction. What I'm saying is the dude didn't say, I tell Temporis what I'm doing, and then I go fuck him. He said, I start throwing stuff into the shadow dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't get why you think that means he's going against what the original guy did. He's actually doing what he wanted him to do.
I think John thought that he was actually destroying the tech completely, not just hiding it.
Well, but even if he was destroying it, how would he? I get what you're saying, but even if he was destroying it by throwing it there, how would he know? Wouldn't he just assume that he was doing what he said he was going to do? Because Temporis created the order, and this dude rose to lead the order.
The same way Zaz knew where the thing for getting into the other place would be. Because when we need them to know those things, they know the things. I
don't follow though, dude. Because we never had an order like turn against itself, but then the person who made the order automatically know that was happening. We never did that.
Well, I assumed with Temporis, like, I don't know.
It just sounded to me like you wanted to take away what Steve did, and I was like, well, I thought we were supposed to all just narratively focus on what everybody does.
No. I'm saying there should be some kind of struggle going on in that situation. Like,
I guess if you want to do that during the resolution, we could do that. I don't see why you would know, though.
That's where we're at. That's
that's where we're at.
That's something we can definitely delve into.
Oh man, I love you guys.
I'm saying that's
John. Also, Joey's like, bitch, I've been fasted all day. Motherfucker.
No, it's not that, dude. It just didn't make any sense because it sounded like you were making a resolution. It sounded like you were trying to take away the action the person did the round before.
No, I was trying to figure out like how much does he actually accomplish all the things before Temporis finds out, or does Temporis find out, or what occurs?
Does he care?
That's what I mean. I don't even know if it would even matter. Like, I don't see how. Like, he didn't say like I take all the weapons and just attack Temporis with them, or something that would directly be like, oh shit, I have to stop this. He literally just did what the guy wanted anyway. He just didn't do it the exact way he wanted. So I don't see why the resolution would be he immediately knows and stops it from happening.
I'm not saying he stops it from. I'm asking how does it play out?
How does Temporis feel about it?
Yes, my original impression also was it was destruction. My original impression was he was sacrificing it to an outer plane being of some sort.
Yeah, I didn't know exactly what he was doing with either. I was just saying whatever he wanted to do, it should have been allowed to happen.
Then, as long as
it started as a repository, it didn't start feeding it until after the death beam.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say is Temporis could. That's another thing. How does the death beam play out? Do the chronics?
Yeah, I thought we were gonna like figure that out before we figured out if Temporis. Yeah, started doing stuff to somebody else.
Ooh, excuse me.
Well, I assumed that happened first beforehand, the order creation and all that, and I thought it could play in. Like, I honestly thought that part of the Abyssal Dude's deal could have been in on that. For the same reason I felt the assassination was possible, though.
Yeah, well, like I said, Temporis probably would have done some of that, but like I said, he was.
Which Abyssal Dude? What's his name? Fucking Aren't you bold?
No, I'm talking about.
No, that's not Abyssal. That was Chronix.
He is Chronix, but he's got some abyssal energy going on too.
Yeah, he got infected by negative
energy.
Negative energy.
Yeah.
The
So not
void.
abyssal, sorry, negative
Void.
energy.
The void. The darkness. Sorry, I mixed
Darkness.
the nothingness. He
The
like
same
now,
shit that
like,
infected Malpheus, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
The madness.
Which is why the next order he created, especially after the beam, is the shattered.
Yeah.
They're becoming unhinged. But we got to figure out what exactly the beam does too.
Yeah, but that's why I was thinking he might have had a play in it happening in the first place.
Possibly.
Wait, which part? The beam?
The beam. Yeah, the beam.
I mean, he could have definitely affected the undead to shoot the heart. Maybe that's what started opening it up so they could actually throw the items in.
And then the nothingness thing, that makes you go decently quick. Malpheus went off the edge, right?
It took a while.
I mean, dude, he was trapped there for thousands of years in between ages and then came out.
Okay.
I just want him to do something this round with the cannon again because we gave it back to him and they didn't do anything with it last age, which I don't know why he should have already used it before now. But
I'm surprised the far plane wasn't hit.
I didn't want to do that because Steve was already doing something with it. So
well, he'd already shot the foreplane once.
Yeah,
he did, right? I couldn't remember if he did or not.
Like
he
crazy.
did. Yeah.
During the last
That's what
resolution, right? The final resolution.
Yeah, that's what caused the explosive ley line growth.
Yep.
All right, so
That being said,
what is the first Joey? I mean, wow, I messed it up finally too.
I was gonna say Ingrid causing the personal calamity on Dern is that she figures out that the Slad are a thing.
Okay.
So she enters his mind and figures out that the Slad exist as infiltrators, so they're no longer secret.
That's solid. That's a secret that's broken for like the first time in thousands of years.
So I guess to the Slad now he's like Dern the betrayer or whatever.
Well, Dern's is stupid right now because he's been feeble-minded.
During the day.
Well, maybe instead of it, she just take control of him. Maybe she convinced him to join her or something. Like maybe it isn't just he's a stupid ass.
What if
it's more to that?
Is she good or evil?
Or I don't know. She's like to me she's like hardcore lawful neutral.
Yeah,
so she's like
she hated the undead, but like she was willing to kill like people for it.
Super holy and all that, right?
Yeah,
what would the opposite of a whisper be in that context? Like
Jedi Guardian,
Jedi Knight.
No, not that. I mean, of course that, but no. Since they're calling themselves the Whisper,
just shouts.
I was gonna say. Remember how they were looking at like technology for force weapons? Maybe they use sound. Maybe they are like an order based on on fucking metal.
What's Ingrid's race again?
Ractonian.
Oh, Ractonian.
Ractonian.
Maybe they use. Maybe they call themselves the Banshees or something like that, and they're all about fucking.
Banshees.
They're all fucking using sound.
Ingrid and her Banshees.
Ingrid's Banshees, but instead of so let's call the order Banshees, and instead of calling themselves Whispers, they call themselves Whales.
Whales.
Nice.
Whales, I like that. Quick question. What if it's something along the lines of like softening the mind up for suggestion, like using feeble mind or something else, and then literally like Stockholm syndroming.
Well, there was actually something kind of like we're basically in the Book of Exalted Deeds, where you basically wrapped an evil creature in like this bubble for a while, and you basically bombarded them with all their nastiness.
You did. Ooh, bellowing ones. T'Challa offered a bellowing ones.
Bellowing ones.
Bellowing ones.
Bellowing ones not bad. I could dig bellowing. New order. The
bellowing spell name. Wall of sound.
So instead of being whales, they're the bellows to the whispers. So every time a new big person for that order comes up, they're a bellow. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird name.
And it is a personal calamity now because now Whisper Dern is going to be Bellow Dern, and he's going to be probably hunted by the Whispers.
Well, again, see what I'm saying? Like, so the Whispers automatically knew he got turned.
It should be an order of bards too, dude. Like straight up, it should be
Same.
bards. They should have to have some kind of musical
we
talent.
said it, but I don't know if they actually know anything about it at this moment.
No, but the fact that he probably doesn't come back is going to be a thing. And
Well, did they know he was off doing stuff?
I mean, he's one of their high agents.
He's only the second one we ever made, so I
Yeah.
assume he's pretty important.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they
like
don't-
it's
they
like
don't-
literally when Vader went back to the light. Like that's how big of a deal it is.
I get, but that was a lot more open. Like,
And also, John, you have to remember that each age is like a few hundred years. So yes, in that time period, they're going to probably learn eventually that he is converted.
okay, that means technically then every nation in the world would by now have all known of the slot existence.
No, maybe Ingrid doesn't let that information out
Years, eventually they would. I'm using
because
the same.
why wouldn't the Bellows fight the Whisperers on a more clandestine fight, like a shadow war?
Because they're lawful neutral. That's one of the first things I asked. If she was good, then she wouldn't even be using feeble mind and Stockholm syndrome or anything like that to try and train somebody. They wouldn't. They would openly approach
Well,
them.
that's not true either. If she was good, she could still torture people. We torture people. Like
So
it's not to like that's. I don't think that's anything to do with alignment.
also,
Personally,
also, I would argue that it would be more of a shadow war because Ingrid would realize that it's hard to like. You got to find the Whispers. Like
Well,
you
that's
can't
what
just say, "Guess
I
what? The
could be-
Whispers exist." People will be like, "Who the hell are they?"
I could be down with either one. Like if she broadcasts it to the world, she's just basically fucking all of them. Like
Actually, given
but, I mean, I
her
could see her doing
nature and the way that she did it, and the name that we've given the order, she probably
Kinda
would have
makes
it
sense.
scream from the rooftops.
Yeah, she might.
Ugh.
But look, just because you know they exist doesn't mean you know who they all
They
are.
are.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean
Do you
anyone
see what I'm
believes.
saying? Yeah, or like it could be another story or part of the myth that already existed about the religion, and now it's like a real thing. So actually, it's bad. It's bad for the world as general too, because now the Whisperers don't have to hide anymore.
And they have to
So maybe
operate-
they start doing shit out in the open, which could be even more terrifying, or could be
they have
worse.
to operate more swiftly.
Yeah, like the Empire.
Especially with their assassination group.
You know, they could become like the actual Empire from Star Wars. They could just
And
start
with
fucking taking
somebody-
shit over.
Yeah, I was gonna say this was somebody like Letty in power in the first place, who's kind of a Palpatine kind of type.
Oh
you'd
yeah,
think
very much so.
he's probably not the public face that comes out of this anyway.
No, probably not. It would
Hmm.
be much more sensible to put some other face out in the open.
But I do
yeah.
feel like if she's the one that flips, Dern is going to be able to provide her enough information to start down the road.
Definitely start dismantling things for sure.
Where, what,
Yeah.
who, how.
But also, that island's going to become like the new base for the Bellows, and that's going to become an area that that's going to be attacked because they are out in the open.
Oh, well, that's another thing. Like the only way I can see her do a shadow is if she's using Dern against them. Is the only way she would do the shadow route, right?
And
So
maybe Dern doesn't know as much as he thinks he does. Like, I don't think Letty's just going to be like, "Hey, guess what? I'm the leader of the fucking Slods." The infiltrators.
Yeah, what
you
if
know?
like instead of using the Force, they use sound like a Black Canary kind of? So like their whole
Yeah.
order is based around using sound as like a weapon and shit.
Like Wallace
Oh,
said.
yeah.
I do like that actually.
Yeah, so like instead the Force is that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like
We never- 'cause we-
shatter, shit like that.
Yeah, we never really gave the Whisperers like the slat of power. I just assumed it was always them being deceitful, like using
Yeah.
lies and shit. But we could give them something too. We can make them like be masters of lying or be able to control people's minds or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Stealth. and-
Enchantment magic, shit like that.
How about social stealth? Like the ability to literally to move through courts and things and not provoke any kind of suspicion.
Well, that goes along.
Manipulation,
That goes along without controlling people's minds, right? So,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, dude. I feel like I don't want either of them to be like standard Sith or Jedi shit. It
Oh
should be
yeah,
different.
no.
Mhm.
It certainly
So,
makes it more interesting.
what happens with the entire Chronix war on the undead Anthemors and Shattecar Wallace and Malpheus's alliance with the Laserman? Like, how does that all work out?
Where's Malpheus?
Well, remember they're not true undead, right? They're still the zombified plants, right? That's who.
They are zombified
That's who it is.
plants.
So Laserman could actually help them because he's all about that nature druid, neo nature
But
magic
Laser
shit.
gone.
Yeah.
So maybe he finds a way to like to control the spread of the virus.
Thought Laserman left.
Trying
No.
to find. Oh, you're right. He's
Oh,
in the
yeah,
fucking. He's in the well. So all this happened before. So yeah,
Oh,
they go there for help, and Laserman's not there. He's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah, that's
disappeared.
what I thought. I was like, well, Malfi. Well,
So
you said
maybe
not gonna be
they start infecting all the animorphs that are there then with that zombified contagion, with that mushroom contagion, because he's not there to help them.
So the Anthropomorphs that showed back up get jacked up in that war, huh?
Yeah, they would be caught up in it, right?
Yeah.
They definitely would be.
So the war is the Chronics versus Shattecar Wallace, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
And
Laserman.
where are Malpheus's forces at?
He is a one-man force now.
Okay. Did Lasermane? We had Lasermane and Shattecar Wallace. Shattecar Wallace wasn't the one who went to Lasermane and said, "Hey, it wasn't me."
Malpheus did.
Malpheus was. So why is Temporus even involving the Animorphs, or really Malpheus, if Malpheus is a single person? I mean,
He's
when
not. Temporus is waging a war on Shattecar Wallace's stuff, but I wanted to see if there was anything else that was going to happen because of that.
Yeah, well, no, I was gonna say it's like with Chronics, when they go after Malpheus, instead of going after, would they go after the location of where they know this thing emanates from, and then just send assassins and other mechanisms against Malpheus, as opposed to an army to hunt down Islam?
Well, I mean, to me, it would make sense that like the Temporus would they need to take care of the Disc of Judgment. So it makes sense to me that they are going to head towards it and deal with whatever's there. Like they're not specifically going for Malpheus. Like they don't actually know who shot the cannon. They just know that that damn thing's activated again, and they need to deal with it.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say Malpheus just tricked Laserman into taking him in so that he wouldn't be killed.
Yeah.
For using the Disc of Judgment again.
It was Malpheus?
No,
I thought it was Shattecar Wallace.
it wasn't Malpheus.
No, it was
But
Malpheus. Malpheus used the Disc of Judgment. He's the one who fired it.
Oh, I thought it was Shattecar Wallace.
I'll let you Shattecar Wallace do it.
No, it was Malpheus who did it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because
shit.
during the last scene, Malpheus gained control of the cannon again. And he used it to fire on the island, remember?
Well, shit. Let me go back and read. Yeah, I totally misunderstood that.
Now, I thought when you added Shattecar Wallace, I just assumed you meant Shattecar Wallace was the one who was there with the Disc of Judgment. So he just aligned. So Malpheus just aligned himself with Shattecar Wallace, which made sense because Malpheus was a coatl zombie and Shattecar Wallace is using all the coatl zombies. So I thought they just were together. Whether he knew it or not, I don't know. But then Malpheus was like, "Oh, we didn't do it. It wasn't us." Yeah.
Okay, well, hold on,
So
Phil.
Malpheus went mad again?
He's been
He's
mad,
been mad the whole time.
I thought right after the first firing, he was so overwhelmed with guilt that he
Oh no, he went crazy
When he
with the
first
Shadowlands.
fired it, he wasn't mad. Then he went to the
Yeah.
Shadowlands and became crazy. Then he came back out of the Shadowlands, got released from the prison. Now he's full on crazy. And the first thing he did was fire the cannon again.
Who was the one that was racked with guilt and like tried changing, but then got screwed immediately after?
That was Jesus. It was your other
It was
quality you made,
Malpheus.
the judge.
The judge. I feel so bad for this. I don't even know what happened to him. I can't remember.
He
Gone.
died to the plague.
Oh yeah. Well, you know,
A lot of them died to that plague.
So we rolled personal calamity for Lasermane or no?
Yeah,
Oh,
No,
he got
Lasermane.
No, he went searching.
Yeah, he's searching.
And I made him find a portal back to the Nil Giants world, and he's disappeared. No one knows where he is.
Would
I
Malpheus
just added that.
be able to play a part into understanding how to get to that null giant world? Like, would Malpheus have access to the information necessary to travel or to do anything else, or maybe that
I
was
don't know.
I'm trying to figure out.
That would involve him going into the.
I don't know if he'd have any kind of. I don't know. I mean, he went to another plane and came out. Maybe.
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out if there was an exchange.
What, in order for him to stay? I don't know. I just assumed Laser Mane would just allow him to stay because he's a guru, right? He's like a good person.
Yeah.
He's like the Dalai Lama and shit.
And maybe he thinks he can heal the madness. You know?
Why would
Yeah,
why would he know Malpheus is a Malpheus of the legend?
exactly. Why would he know he's even bad, right? Maybe he is like
Yeah.
persecuted because he didn't do anything wrong. I don't know. It just I had the Nil Giant thing, so that would be interesting for the Nil Giants because that's the thing that the what we call it? That's the Animorphs fear.
Yeah.
That place.
So just making sure I understand this. Laser Mane's forces fall to Shadowcar Wallace's forces, and Malpheus moves into Laser Mane's home area. Like that's
fall because he's not there to protect them from them just being absorbed by the fungus, right?
Yeah.
Wait.
So then what happens with Temporis in this whole thing? Like Temporis shows up and he's like, "Oh shit!" Like there's a whole shitload of undead zombie anthropomorphs now. So what does he do about it?
I don't know. I don't know. Does he hate undead? Would he exterminate them?
Well, he's mad because they fucking blasted. Yes. I think honestly, if he could just destroy the Disc of Judgment, he would probably not give a shit.
Yeah, I think the Disc of Judgment is the only thing that really is on his to-do list.
Yeah. The question is he able to accomplish that?
And I hate to be this guy, but we wrote in time travel. So
that's what I was just saying. Like his solution is probably like he goes back and makes sure the Disc of Judgment was never made in the first place,
or he goes back to before the explosion, goes to the source of the explosion, and kills everybody before they fire it.
Yeah, but don't you think like more poetic is he goes back so it was never constructed in the first place by the Coatl 3 ages ago? Like it just doesn't exist.
Yeah, but he's so into
what's going on?
He understands that so alters the world that he can't do that and retain the same line.
Not necessarily. I mean, that's just how we're viewing it. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not a paradox. Maybe it just instead of them using the canon, they use something else to destroy the Lachey, but it still ends up in the same spot.
Yeah,
or just never a canon anymore.
Paradoxes really work in physics, according to theory. They resolve themselves.
I kind of feel like we should make Temporis always use time as a weapon. Like that should be the only way he can affect the world. I think because that makes him interesting. So you can't just like attack people and shit. He has to do something with time.
Yeah,
in order to accomplish.
So he just basically removes.
You put it on a roll.
Removes the Disc of Judgment from existence.
Yeah. Okay.
You put a percentile roll on it though to see because if not, then it becomes like a infallible character.
Well, that's what he is, though, right? He's time. So you want to pit to see if something wrong happens because he did that?
Well, I was going to say, you put like a percentage roll on whether he succeeds.
You know, no, like, he succeeds, but like maybe he removed it after it blasted the Lachey.
I would say normally he might have succeeded, but then again, now his artifacts aren't there. He has like this other usurper below. He might not succeed. He might not have the resources he needs to, or not. Or at least the reason I'm saying to put a mechanism in is because later it will come up again and again and again, and he can't always get the win, right? Eventually, Temporis has to.
So far, we really haven't had him alter time in the sense of fixing an event. The biggest thing we've had Temporis do is like save state things.
I mean, that's the same thing, isn't it?
Well, it is, but if he hasn't done the save state, then there's no save state to go back to.
True.
I'd assume that anytime he does something like that, it is a taxing thing on him. Like the only save state he's done so far that we've actually like represented was save stating 3 races, and then he didn't have to use that until almost a couple thousand years later. Because he save stayed in age 1 and he didn't actually pop it until the end of age 2. So maybe it's something that really takes time to build up and then actually.
He only used it in age 2 because he escaped from the prison, right? He didn't succeed in using it the first time. So you could say that he is fallible, like it doesn't always work. Because it didn't work the first time.
I'm just trying to give us a device as authors and creators to not paint ourselves into a corner of an ultra powerful thing that we can't logically explain why he lost. This is a great time for their chance.
Sure you can, because that's how the ultra powerful thing loses in Live, Die, Repeat. Like it can save time, it can save state itself, but it has to send things out into the world to learn how to do that. So because he did that, he can never ever save himself. Like it'll always go back to the point where he's going to die over and over and over again. So like no matter what you make him, you can always figure out how to take it away because we have the ultimate control over it. No matter what we decide to make it, like the device that takes away his power. I'm just saying, like you, I think that he would do something with time to defeat the disc. It wouldn't be like he blows it up or sends people to destroy it. It'd be more intricate than that.
It'd be more
if we make him have to affect time to do it, then he's not as powerful, technically speaking. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, he's like he has parameters to which he can function. So even something simple like the cannon's made, but the fuel for the cannon is never discovered. So the cannon's just sitting up there, but they don't have the power source.
Well,
I was you want to make it.
Or he could have just removed it after it affected Lachey. Like maybe.
Yeah, maybe he's too worried about causing a hole in time, so he allows it to destroy Lachey, but then
that's what I'm saying. Time. Like he only goes back a tiny bit.
Yeah, not the whole time, but just a little bit.
Because he knows how that'll play out.
I totally thought Steve fell asleep for a while, by the way. He was like really quiet.
He kind of slumped in. You can make the argument he already did that because like the ability to make it left. Remember how it miraculously disappeared from the world? Like no one knew how to make it anymore except for Malpheus.
Yeah.
And Malpheus was supposedly dead, so it would never come back. So maybe he already tried what you're saying, John. Like maybe he went too far back the first time, and it happened again anyway.
Yeah, and that's all that extra stuff.
Yeah, so now he's trying to figure out a way to find a happy medium. Like he doesn't want to go not far enough forward, doesn't want to go too far back. Yeah. So he goes back and changes one thing to stop.
Yeah, it is like Altered Carbon a lot.
Very
T'Challa, which is a fantastic show, by the way. Altered Carbon is amazing.
It's okay. I like the Expanse better. But
the first season was really good. Altered Carbon. The second season wasn't so great. The first one was awesome.
I'm still on the Expanse nuts.
Okay.
What if he goes back? What if he allows him to fire the cannon, but it doesn't do what he wanted to do? So,
like he went back in time and altered the way it actually trajects.
Yeah. So Malpheus thinks that he shot it at the time devices, but he didn't. Maybe he captures it or redirects it. The Animorphs redirected all that energy before.
I was about to say, actually, what if he goes back into time to right before the first time the Animorphs blow themselves up on accident? And what he does is he just grabs a piece that is needed that he can't access in his time period that would redirect it, comes back and uses it. Because they're about to get blown up anyway, so he's not affecting time.
So what if when he takes it, that's the reason they blow up? Because the thing that they use.
I like that, dude. Yeah, he retroactively destroyed them.
he retroactively went back and this actually worked in the past.
Yep.
I need this right now.
Meanwhile,
I'm not worried about the consequences of that.
Okay, but we still have to make the event do something, even if it's not the original intention of whatever that was going to be. We never even figured out what happened when he blew all this shit up anyway. So something still has to happen. It just won't be whatever catastrophic event that was. You know what I mean? So, like, what do you want it to be? Do you want it to be like that the Shattered get infected with the spores too, but it's different because he fucked with time?
You could say that the entire formation Shattered. When I made the Shattered, it was with the thought process of the beam hit. But what if the Bruja, just being so close to the heart of Shadow and then not getting blown up, forms the Shattered because they are just there and not getting blown the fuck up, so they go crazy with the void. Fucking energy.
Yes. What if the Shattered are doppelgangers of the original True Bruja that should have died in the blast? So the True Bruja exists, but now there are these polar opposites that were formed by the blast. So the Shattered are like the Reavers, kind of from fucking Firefly. Like they're just completely insane, evil, chaotic, evil, fully like the diametric opposites of the people that they were supposed to replace.
Me and John are just like, what the fuck?
So like now you have the Bruja running around, but you have the Shattered, which are the Bruja, but they're just evil versions of them.
I like
and
that.
Maybe they want to steal. Maybe that order is one John was talking about earlier that pisses off Temporis because they are not trying to seal the technology up. They're trying to take it out and use it.
Ooh,
to fuck
I like that.
Everything else up.
So they're okay.
So
that means
Noloid has a. So Noloid has a. Yeah, he has an opposite now, another avatar, an evil version of himself.
Temporis is going to need to die.
All right.
No.
So since I'm the one working on this fucking spreadsheet, guys.
Wait, what if? Hold on, Steve. What if they're called not the Shattered? What if they're called the true Bruja.
I like that.
The Bruja and the true Bruja, and our true Bruja are the evil, shitty versions of the Bruja.
What is the name of the other the other?
Don't just take his name and work it around. Like, come up with some
Spell it
different names.
backwards.
I've already done that once.
Yeah, we're not Alucard this bitch.
It's Canib.
What's the name of the guy who started Temporis?
Temporis.
No, that's not his name. I don't remember it.
Are you talking about Tempo? No, not Tempo.
No. In Vampire, the man who came up with Temporis, the man who developed it.
I
mean,
do.
The
Bruja.
vampire. Yeah, he wasn't, but his name wasn't Bruja, right? He was somebody else, I thought.
There was
Like a disciple.
There was discussion of his name. I don't think because Troil was actually the chowder that supposedly killed him, but some people think Troil was actually just Bruja, just doing Bruja shit. Like, it's once you get really, really old. Yeah, Troil. See, that's what. Yeah, Troil
All right,
was the.
so it says his name is the believed to descend from the original progenitor of the Bruja clan, sometimes called Ilyes, Ilyes.
Ilyes. Thank you.
It's whose real name known to people was Troil. So we could call him Ilyes.
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 Yeah, Ilyes.
So,
okay.
The rest of this spore stuff. Does Fallout affect the Eternal?
Hold on. Pause. Because I am fucking writing this down. All right. What do we need to put for the actual resolution part? Like, give me a shorter version.
That Temporis intervened and instead of allowing the blast to happen, accidentally created another race of true Bruja, another order of Bruja called the True Bruja.
Yeah.
AKA also known as the Shattered Bruja or the Shattered.
So is that the exchange then? Instead of, or will it affect other things as well? As far as
I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. The exchange is that it sucked all that up and instead created a whole other race, basically, of things.
And so that means we don't have to blow up other races.
No, we don't, unless you guys want to.
Well, yeah, unless you guys want to.
It literally created a paradox.
As long as there's an exchange, right? Everything's paid for.
All right.
Ilyes. Okay. Thank you. Because I'm like, motherfuckers, I love all this, but I got to write this shit down.
Protocol.
I'm curious, which undead is the order of the live stream attacking? The weird zombie fungus undead, or the undead down in the desert with the catfolk?
Yeah, because remember we have the giant treaty down there with that big place we built where they can all live wherever they want.
Stalgoth?
So,
do they attack those undead?
I think what we were really looking at. Hold on. All right. So, what was the issue I was trying to? Let me go back here and look. All right. So I know I created them.
And then in the command phase, you pretty much said they're taking an active role in quelling the undead.
Yeah. Overall, like they want to cleanse the zombie, the zombie shit.
The fungus.
Bad. Yeah.
Because the other undead, well, like all the undead are supposed to be all at peace. Remember, we made that stupid, or not that stupid. We made that peaceful, like we made our own Jerusalem, which is like all undead, not undead, and then the zombie fungus are all together, living peacefully. The Cara Dune,
Cara Dune Accords.
Oh yeah, but
the Cara Dune Accords
peacefully in the name of death.
So are we saying there's a splinter group of some kind of undead that's going around fucking everything up, and that's what the live stream was made for?
Well, yeah, like the all the anthemorphs and shit are like, Shadow Car, Wallace, and all that. They're still causing problems.
Undead now too, right? The Blue Goblin area is all full of undead shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of undead.
And we have undead that can breed with undead.
Although Ingrid did fuck up a lot of undead with her giant ball of radiance.
Yeah.
So probably more like, I think the live stream are looking to cleanse the zombie spore shit. Like they got to get rid of that.
Which makes sense because they're plant based too. So it's interesting. It's like yeah.
Didn't it hit them?
Like
and they just got more powerful.
Yeah, they got more powerful. Twist them further.
It's good for them, isn't it? I thought they'd be worried about Archibald coming up to fuck their ley lines with.
Yeah, we still have to resolve that. That's the big one. We're doing that last, right?
Well, let's talk about Archibald and his goal to plague the world.
So, does the live stream do anything with the zombie undead? Like, how does that work?
Depends. Do they have a Patreon?
I think that maybe they don't destroy them. Maybe they cleanse them.
All
The
right.
ones they get a hold of.
So does Shadowcar Wallace get cleansed?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want them to get cleansed this round? Do you want them to cleanse everything that isn't part of Shadowcar Wallace? Like everything else in the world?
You know, I mean,
I think that they need to start experimenting. They probably capture and experiment with what cleansing means, because Ingrid's version of cleansing was cleansed by righteous flame.
yeah.
Quick question. Okay, so we have these things that are both undead and this fungus material from somewhere. I'm sorry. Now, when they cleanse them, the thought of cleanse, does that mean both things? Or are they just getting rid of the undead and they're like, well, the fungal part's fine?
Well, to me, like the idea of cleansing would be removing the fungal part to where the original creature is now just back to how they were.
And they're undead?
No, not undead. They're back to being alive.
So they're not so they're going after just the fungally infected, not the fungally infected undead? Or
Well, the fungally infected are undead. Like the zombies are like plant zombies now. Like they're like spore zombies.
They're like the Last of Us zombies.
but I thought that some of the plant spores had also infected living undead, so they were both spored and undead. And
I'm more referring to they're going more after like the anthemorphs who got plagued by like the fungus and
that's what I thought Shadowcar Wallace was. Okay, so remember the city is full of undead. Kyra Dune come.
Yeah, because Shadowcar Wallace got turned into Zamisi, right? That's what happened to him. And then all of those Amors got turned to Zamisi.
Yeah.
Then the Radiants happened, but they didn't die to the Radiants because they had the fungal infection too. That's what John's saying, right? I know what you're talking about, John.
Oh, okay.
Living undead and the spore infection thing.
There's three types of zombies
just to wipe this whole fucking world.
There's zombies, fungal zombies, and undead fungal zombies.
Oh,
so
that's fucking
three.
God.
That's what John's saying. So I think the live stream should go after the undead fungal zombies. That's the ones they should go after because that's the biggest threat, right?
Yes.
Fungal or the undead.
Shadowcar is undead fungal zombie. That's what he is. All of them are that because of what Ingrid did.
They're the triple
event.
threat.
So the Farplane Island is anti-fungal.
It got shot with the fungal ray, so technically they're fungal too. But they were already like a weird fungus to begin with, like a space fungus.
Now they're anti-undead because they're pro-life.
Yes, they're pro-life. So they hate undead fungus. That's what they're all about, cleansing.
Living fungus.
Yeah, Steve, because you thought, hey, let's just add in like disease guys.
Or as Steve would call them, Uden. Just a joke. Just kidding.
Oh, jeez. Come on now.
Oh, what?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. No. Nothing was said. Nothing was uttered. No German words were spoken.
No.
Oh.
How tall is that grass?
Said mutant. And now also
this is about this high.
Never mind. X-Men made me realize how much mutant sounded like another word.
Yeah, precisely.
All right, let's chill out on that and let's talk about what the Abyssal Plague does.
All right, gentlemen. So my pitch is that this is my pitch. You guys probably aren't going to like it because it's another giant world bullshit. So when his bomb goes off and what's his name sacrifices himself to save everybody else, he doesn't save the actual Sugoth, and he doesn't save like the plant. Like all the ley lines animate into like a giant octopus tentacle monster. So the whole thing covering the earth becomes this giant monster, which forces the dragon to come alive. The cold steel blue dragon finally comes alive, rips himself out of the earth to fight the giant fucking space alien tendril monster.
And there's a small group of Hawkmen halfway across the world going, see, I told y'all motherfuckers we needed to move.
And that part that's sticking out, that's literally just like the top part of the spines on his head. So when he comes out, it's that's his head. Like, and the rest of him is a giant cold steel frost dragon.
And
that's a lot.
And they
Steve's
fight.
looking at the map going like, fuck you guys.
No, I'm good with that. I'm just we just did like that's a cataclysm.
This is age 1. This is round 1.
Age 2.
No, it's of age 3. This is round 1.
Round 1 of age 3.
So let me run this back real quick so I completely understand, and so we can make this super long for John when he goes to cut this out. You're saying that when the plague goes off on the far plane thing, it becomes like a living creature.
Yeah, a giant living ley line.
So it becomes infected by the abyss and okay.
It's a combination of all the.
And the only reason everything on the whole planet doesn't become infected is because the other guy sacrificed himself to make everybody immune to it, who has a worm in them.
And then the one dragon that's been slowly moving for the last 2 ages.
Yeah, he wakes up because he has to.
And goes, oh fuck this shit.
And I was gonna pitch it's not just him who comes down to fight, but the sun. The sun comes back to life too because it's gonna take both of them.
I was about to throw the sun into this too. Actually, you're on the right path.
Hold on. We got to add in one thing. Who is the Ice Dragon's champion?
We got to figure out who they are this age, right?
No, I know who it is.
Who is it?
It's Mungus, dude. Because that damn sundial controls the entire Ice Dragon's
there you
movement.
go. Yeah.
He
becomes
like
the avatar. So like the mark appears on his body, and he is now the controller of the Ice Dragon, the Ice Mark. Maybe it burns so cold it burns like through his new clockwork armor. It's like on the side of his face or something, dude. So like shoots out from the armor, and that's the thing that actually activates the cold.
And
steel
then
dragon.
Sento is now the avatar for the Sun Dragon because that's where he's at.
But we could make him. Yeah, he already has a sword too.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going to be like mech riders and shit.
So I do.
I mean, I can make them all up if you want. Ingrid's the master of the tier. Maybe the tier wakes up.
Is
maybe,
the Acid Dragon?
Maybe the Lightning Dragon wakes up.
Is the Acid Dragon still flying around the water?
The Acid Dragon got stuffed back in the box. By
yeah, the Acid Dragon's back in the box. How do you? Okay, first off, that's going to be a cataclysmic level fight.
Not really. Like a couple houses got knocked down, but other than that, like he just grabbed.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no property damage.
Yeah, no problem. Minimal. An old man had a stroke.
How do y'all feel about the 2 massive dragons plus their champions? Literally ripping this abyssal farplane entity into 2 pieces, and now instead of 1 extra sun, we have the fire sun and the ice sun that now are literally holding on to the 2 halves of this sentient monstrosity.
How about
because they would totally take it into space? You have to take this.
Yeah. How about they take it to space? I like what Steve's saying. And one side you have the Sun Dragon, one side you have the Frost Dragon, right? The Cold Dragon. And the Centenalian sphere of material that surrounds the Earth is what they use to anchor the rest of the vines. So now there's like a cylinder sphere around us, like a ring, like Saturn, that floats around the planet that's anchored by the 2 suns and Centenalian. So Centenalian also helps them in this fight. And like maybe all the Hawkmen with the Centenalian weapons, they all help too. So all those weapons are destroyed that they were making last age 2. All that shit's gone now. And the only ones that still have Centenalian weapons are the Whispers who were going around collecting them without anybody knowing it. But everyone else who has one dies too.
Fallen, right? That hasn't been found yet from the original space.
Yeah, it hasn't been fallen. But remember how they were looking, John, you said they went out and they started like killing people who didn't know about it and shit?
Yeah.
They have their shit because they went and collected it. But like the regular Green Lantern Hawkmen who had their regular weapons and armor, they all have to sacrifice themselves as part of this thing too. To like hold this ring together.
Now, I like all of that. Quick question though. Now, are they containing the far plane entity inside of them, like holding on to it?
I kind of feel like it's all the ring is all held together by the Centenalian metal, so he's also helping to keep it together. Right? I don't know if you want to be through mental control, maybe because he's a non-omniscient being.
Not that. I'm just trying to find a way that in all of this, a piece of said far plane abyssal entity breaks and escapes off into space. That's all I want. That way, you have the ability of at any point in time, without having to breaking down your cosmology, to bring it back in. You know,
like you can just say that happens later. You don't have to do it now.
A meteor hits and it had a little bit of the far plane on it.
Yeah, I mean that can happen, or Maybe while it's outside of the reach of both of the suns, little pieces can still rain down onto the
Oh yeah,
planet.
little pieces are here and there. It's just not gonna be like it was.
I definitely don't think that they just rip every bit of Farplane off the planet either. I do have to ask though, with the cataclysmic level event that's literally going to happen with this, are we going to go through all the races and see how they fare during the
Yeah, why not?
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Why not? We need
the main event? Okay.
Oh Lord, hold on. Let me finish typing all this out because this is a lot. I'm having
Oh
this-
yeah, it's a ton. It's a biggie.
yeah.
Plus, we don't have to say like that. That far Earth alien shit. Maybe it's still alive, floating around the Earth. Like maybe it's still sentient. Maybe it still can do things. So
Oh,
it's
that's
kind of like
why-
a protective
why-
sphere too.
That's why I was saying that the two suns, like they rip, like at the end of the fight, they essentially rip it into two pieces, like two major pieces. So each one of the suns is essentially a mini prison, and if one of them gets broken off, think of it almost like what's that two-headed?
So you don't
it's-
like the idea of it connected together?
It's
Oh, no,
like a ring?
I don't mind it being connected together. I like that, but essentially, think of it like they, in their fighting, they split its sentience into two pieces. One is like the rage portion.
So like
that's held by-
Demogorgon.
yeah, like Demon
Yeah.
Cord.
So yeah, maybe it glows like purple, right? Because of the blue energy from the blue steel making the actual prison, and then the flame from the fire dragon is the one that like runs it, right, or like keeps it mobile or keeps it
Yeah.
running. So it's like this giant pulsating purple thing floating around the planet,
Yeah,
and each side is separate. So maybe that's how they stop it from reforming. So maybe it's not like all of its good qualities is bad qualities. Maybe it's just it needed both sides to function. Kind of like the Jaegers in Pacific Rim, how it takes two brains to like make them work.
Yes. Yep.
So maybe it's just conscious split in two. So maybe it's not good or evil. Maybe it's just it. And if it ever
Right.
finds a way to come back together, then it could
Shit's gonna be bad.
reanimate. Yeah.
So the short of this is the Farplane ley lines turns into a giant tentacle monstrosity. The Sun and Ice Dragons awaken. Sinto and Lord Mungus become their avatars. The two dragons rip it into two pieces and entomb the objects in space, turning into suns. Centenalian forms a ring around the planet, linking into the suns.
Yeah.
Okay.
And quick question here, because I have to add even more for us to talk about. That vortex, you said it was technically still open, but never to be used again because it's closed unless one of us decide to do something with the vortex.
Yeah,
So
John.
I was gonna have a creature come through the vortex after it encountered a far plane material that affected it. It put another abomination floating in the world. I was gonna pitch the idea of the blind platypus monster finally coming through and getting far touched on the other side.
So 100-handed one platypus, 100 beaked, 100 beaked one, 100 beaked one. Yeah, it's all the platypus from the other world. They all
Yeah.
form into one
How
giant
about-
monster.
How about
Yeah.
instead of having
Farplane
something,
incursions are terrible.
how about instead of having something come through, given that this Farplane ley line thing was stopping teleportation, when it gets finally ripped off of the planet at the end of this round, the vortex reopens and we can address what comes out in the next next
Lord.
round.
Ooh.
Oh, I was really hoping to keep the portals closed. Oh shit.
So you say the bellows were vocal?
Yeah.
And how long has teleportation been out? Since before she was an avatar, right?
No.
What do you mean?
The ley lines?
No.
The
That
ley
was just the
lines.
start of this round.
Yep.
Oh, they just started?
Yeah,
The ley lines
yeah.
have only been here for about 100 years.
Okay, never mind then. That's good.
Now, what I'm going to say is because of what the pure Maycall folk are doing, as this is all happening, they basically harness all of that ley line energy and basically become like the conduits for the high arcana of the world. Because
Okay.
I want high level magic, for a while, and with the ley lines being ripped up, I think the pure Maycall folk kind of become like the rightful rulers of like high level magic.
We have to roll and see if they survived.
Yeah.
Like everybody else.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same. I was gonna say with the
I think we should do that after break, though. I'll be honest with you, because man, we should take a break soon.
Okay. Let's hit a 15-minute break because this is gonna be a big long one.
So
Ractonian.
all I was going to say is realistically, we might only finish up one round tonight because that's going to be a
With
lot.
the way things are going, it's looking like a one age night.
Yeah,
One
which
round.
is okay. That's awesome.
Or one round night.
Just the Ractonians, the Banshees. Now we said that they were very overt about what they were going about doing.
Yes.
The moment teleportation available again, if they were overt and people like Whisper Letty understood the threat of what this person was, and this person underestimated the value of teleportation, which is something I'm sure Whisper Letty's had access to for a long time. I don't see that ending well for her. You know what I mean?
Well, she's also like a crystal structure, so
yeah. She is now. Oh yeah, she's now a statued crystal structure on the island. Does she impart?
That is an interesting thought to leave with for this break. Let's all ruminate on it for about 15 minutes because that is.
Yeah, we got a lot of shit going on.
We'll see y'all in 15 minutes, guys. And we're back from the break, everyone.
Did anyone bake during their break?
The bacon break, whatever.
Bacon
So
break.
what
are you doing in the garage out there?
Smoking cigarettes, drinking whiskey, getting ready to kill a whole bunch of races.
Whole bunch of races.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Okay, you are German after all. So.
Whoa!
Lordy.
I did hear a great Hitler joke recently.
And we're going to stop right there. But what we are going
to say that was the joke, right?
Wow. Stop right there. Yeah, good job, huh?
Yeah. Okay, but we are
Give
going
me
to
old
be
German dab.
dropping off some of these races, hopefully. So I'm just going to go down the list, and we're going to talk about each one of them, while I ignore the rest of my hosts.
Fly for the best.
Hosts. We're going to start with the worst hit race, I believe, given that they literally lived on the thing that turned into a giant squid tentacle death monster.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Hawkman and by proxy the Salmon.
No. There's something that literally lived on it.
The Sogoth.
The Sogoth. We're going to start with that.
But I need everyone to remember they're mimics. So as soon as they get flung into the air, they just mimic into a bird. Like they're very survivable.
Unless the actual ley line's like wrapped around them.
Oh, yeah, if they like engulf them, like
probably engulf them.
Like a Princess Mononoke island.
I think Steve kind of fucked them when he set loose the abyssal energy all over them. So I think they probably got absorbed into the thing.
Yeah.
Turned into the monster.
I just don't know what abyssal energy is. It's so hard for me to mentally understand that.
Evil chaotic energy.
But is it chaotic? I thought the devils were...
No, devils
are lawful. The demons
That's
are
infernal. Okay.
And yes, there you
go. Okay.
But
there's actual charts.
Go ahead. Sorry.
There's actual charts in the abyss where you get mutated by touching, like by being in the abyss. So it's kind of like it's like a transformative,
like aberration.
Kind of. I mean, stuff can have like grow tentacles
and he said host.
And we established earlier that the energy changes things because it made Magnetrix and all that other stuff. So
I'm thinking the Sogoth themselves are dead.
Yeah, the civilization's dead. There might be a few here, but they're dead.
But there's something to be said that the Sogoth could return. Remember that their avatar, what's his name? Nearleth, literally dispersed himself across the world, essentially slipping a little portion of himself into tons and tons of people so they didn't die to the plague.
Yeah.
So the Sogoth have the opportunity to return. But for right now, we're going to say dead.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I said that the Sogoth civilization is destroyed.
What if
Yeah.
And the Avatar is dormant.
sorry, what if Sogoth wasn't the what if Nirtal wasn't the only one that did it? What if pretty much everybody that had the ability in society did the similar concept? They broke themselves back into their base pieces and then just dispersed.
God, dude,
So
this
right
may not have
now,
no sentience.
they're in the world more like a creature with the ability to possibly one day come back as sentience. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right.
And control what
go ahead.
percent that is of the actual population of the whole world at the end anyway.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go from the top of the list from this point forward because I really don't know who would be most possibly hit
No.
or not hit. So let's talk about the troglodytes.
I mean,
Anything that bounces off of Temporis, they're getting hit by the plague spores mostly.
what do you
Right.
call it? We're talking about troglodytes.
The ones in the Scar Rift.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was just making sure, like you said, Temporis. That's what I was.
Well, they're right next to Chronics. I meant.
Yeah.
And so,
We're
like,
pretty
any
close.
like is a result of that area, I would say might affect the elves and the star metal crash.
Oh, the area that got shot isn't anywhere near the Chronic City.
No,
Thought they shot the Chronics. Oh no, they shot
the
Shot the
Bruja.
base.
little Bruja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
So,
That's
so
the
should we just leave this at the percentage?
thing.
That's
I
over
mean,
the
I'm sure
Hollow.
there was like, I'm sure there was a lot of like waves and you know of.
Oh, yeah, no,
energy
I'm
and-
good with it. I'm trying to figure out, do they make it or not? That's all I want to know.
I think
So-
the Hawkmen might be fucked because they went for the space to. I'm just trying to think of who would be directly affected and would be dead.
The
I think-
Hawkmen, the Salmon are going to have a problem because, like I said, they all were nestled around the ice dragon that woke up.
I think both of those races in the middle there are probably fucked, but the Hawkmen did move one small part of their civ over to this island above the eye, or the mountain
Yeah.
crevice above the eye. But I think, yeah, anybody that's on the dragon is, I mean,
So the Salmon are out, you're saying?
as a civ, I'm sure there's
Yeah.
living all over the place, and same with Hawk people. But
Well, that's the thing with the Gnarlthep doing the thing he did. Like, I don't think any civilization is completely destroyed because he pissed worms and so many things. Like, all those races still exist.
I don't think that the plague is what's killing it. I think the cataclysmic fight. That's why I was asking about races.
Yeah, but
honestly.
the plague is a large part of that because he
You're
just
not
didn't release the abyss. He released the plague too, so it covered the entire Earth wherever the ley lines were.
You're not wrong.
So
And the Leylands were kind of everywhere. So
yeah, and specifically the worms were preventing the plague from killing people. Is what he did.
Yeah.
so do we say that the races that didn't have civs because they died, like blue goblins don't have a civ anymore, right? But we said blue goblins were around.
well, yeah, like I'm not saying that there's no race that's completely fucking dead. We're
What
just
if-
saying, like, as the civilizations,
I got a pitch. What
Mhm.
if because these civilizations that exist are so concentrated, they suffer the worst losses? So think about this almost like the Stand. Like this plague is like Captain Trips. It like kills most of the world, the ones who didn't have the worms in them. So all of our mini civs, who are just races that are still around, now gain power again and now
Ooh.
become civilizations.
I like that.
So the blue goblins, the Quaddle, anything like this, we can go through and look, are now prominent, and everything else is now minor. So instead of rolling, we just flip it.
I do like
What do you guys
that.
think?
I like that
No?
a lot, actually. I do like that a lot.
that
so
makes sense that the highly populated areas would be the most
Yeah,
affected.
it's not just a giant fight. The giant fight fucks everything up, but it's actually that plague that gets everybody, which is what that character, Archibald, that was his entire goal.
That's his goal, yeah.
So
Does
I
he
think
survive?
yes, I think he survives. And I think he ascends. I think he's now in the box. He's gone. He's no longer a playable avatar because
Okay.
he completed his hero's journey. He like completed his goal. His goal was completed during this fight. He did what he wanted to do.
He actually wasn't Archibald the one that had the access to leave, like the only one?
Yes, he was.
What if that,
So that Axis fucks him and he gets stuck in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thought he
I
could
mean,
leave.
At the
I like
same
that.
time, you could just I mean, his version of leaving would be going to the abyss. So if his box looks like the abyss, he's happy.
no,
Yeah, he's
act-
in the box.
that's what I was about to say. Like, but he had a way to get out of prison. But the only way he could have got out of prison is if he would have walked away from the hero's journey that was in front of him that he could achieve.
So this is super interesting. So you can go through all the races now. You could be like, Ractonians become Amazons, right? The Caradun become the Salmon, I guess. Again, even though Salmon are like, we could find like parallels between like what they were before. You know what I mean? And then just like directly.
I think I like what you're talking about, but I think instead of like having a big focus on it right now, we go and dig through all of our notes and essentially all the races that have been floating around. We need to seed a little like civilization area for all of them because everyone's been reduced. Like almost like
concentrated leftovers are at for like every race, including blue goblins, the Coatl. Like so, Coatl, for instance, they're not coming back up here because all these are undead fungal Coatl over here in the corner, right? But for some odd reason, right here on the bottom chain, the largest group of
I actually like a place for the Coatl now that you're talking about them. Sorry for
yeah. Well, I meant the process. Like
you
can say the most lived at the time.
The only thing that I was going to say is Rend, a long time ago in the northern portion, in an area like the one you just pointed out, had built her little fortress of solitude, the Fang.
Yeah,
and no one's used it since.
Well, Dampiers were using it, and then they got wiped out.
The dark.
Oh,
the dark
they were using it. My bad.
Yeah, they were.
I forgot about that.
But they could be back now, right? Because we said nothing was completely wiped out, so now they rise to prominence again because everything else is reduced.
We had some Dampier that survived the radiant light thing, right? We talked about
only the Shadowcar, really. Everything else was pretty much wiped out from the radiant.
I like it.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like we can bring all this stuff back, and even if they're not full-fledged civilizations, it just means that like they didn't have to fight for resources anymore because everything else got reduced, so they were able to build back up again. Like the Tiger people could be back, like all that shit.
I have an idea here. I like where all this is going. How about we wipe the entire slate on like preset civilizations out, so now we can reset civs as we go.
Like create race, stuff like that.
We have the races now. It's just creating the civs.
Okay. Yeah.
So for instance,
like there are no civs right now.
There are no large scale organized civs.
Yeah, every civ that does exist merely exists at the lowest possible level they can be represented as a formed civilization.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we, like for instance, just as an example, we go look at the troglodytes here, right? So the troglodytes were part of the horde with the dragons and the lizard kind. So then we go back to the troglodytes. We look at the troglodytes and say, okay, well, this main spot of Haria, they're fucked off, right? Because of the disease being more rampant in that area, they might be dead. But we can then look historically and go, okay, well, yeah, but there could be troglodytes anywhere along where the horde territory was.
Which is a pretty big swath. Yeah. And then as we move into the next round, as we want to start establishing people again. Okay. I love this. That's actually a really great idea. I wish we had a list of all of our orders right now because some of those.
I want to add on. I like the idea of reestablishing, but I do think the most promised civilizations shouldn't be able to just come right back. It should be like when an empire falls, basically, is what happens.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's coming right back, which is why I think all of our orders probably are shattered too.
As we move to, well, yeah, they're like the ones that exist are kind of like the Knights Templar. Or
they're like after the Crusades, right? Like, like they still exist, but they're not full-fledged part of civilizations anymore.
Yeah, they're holding on to the last bastion of
there might be like 5 people left in an order or something like that.
Yeah, like maybe like in Valhalla, there's still an order of those clerics we made, but their whole job is just to protect the one temple that's still standing. Like, and that's where they.
Whisper Letty gets put into a position where he can't really start moving pieces because there are no fucking pieces of merit left to move.
Or he's in the perfect position to start helping rebuild the entire world from the ground up.
Speaking of Whispered Letty, that is the next place I was going to go. We have a list of avatars, but now everything's been shattered. I know Archibald stepped out. He's out. He's gone. Laser Mane is currently AWOL as well. Are we bringing him back in?
He'll come back when
He's gonna come back, yeah, because he didn't die. So
or something.
Well, would he come back right now, or would he come back later?
When he's useful to us, we'll grab.
Yeah, so
kinda
he's
feel like-
out right now.
what if we use him like a Jesus figure when he comes back? Maybe he's the one that's trying to reunite everybody. You know, I've been watching The Stand recently, so maybe he's like a Mother Abigail type of character, where he's back from the Null Giants and
kind of
he's trying to help people.
caretaker.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like maybe, and maybe
So-
Whisper Letty is like Randall Flagg, like he's trying to lead
Hey,
people down the wrong
On
path.
on this one, would you say take him out of play for at least one round and then
At least
bring him
one round.
back?
Yeah,
okay.
at least in the next round, right?
I mean,
Like,
because
he's
he
not
he
there.
suffered a personal calamity, so he needs to be
I
gone
like
for at least a
that.
round.
Rock the Seeker.
They're not even affected by the plague, right? They're literally.
I think
In the prison.
I think
yeah.
he
He suffered a personal calamity.
Prison.
Yeah, he's out for at least a round.
Oh, I don't see him coming out anytime soon.
No, he might be like the next Centenalian, where he starts like fucking
How
with shit on
about
monitor.
we take Barack and Z-Saz and shift them over to event type characters until they
Sure.
come back?
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If someone has a good idea to bring them back, they are welcome to bring them back at any point. It's just right now they're evented out. Whisper Letty active, trying to figure out where to start rebuilding the.
I think of everyone, he's probably the most active. I think he would try to
yeah.
seize this opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be a big problem.
Of all of our avatars, he's the most devious, maybe with the exception of Malthius, because Malthius is so crazy that I don't
All right,
know how
Lord
to categorize it.
Mungus. Sorry,
Do
go ahead.
Mungus and Cinto survive their avatars?
No, I think that they're out. I think they're out too. I think they're part of that prison system in space now. Like they're like wardens of that place.
Like
So
they're both
ostensibly-
basically in control of the two different suns.
Yeah, ostensibly, like Shinto was already out, but now they're both out now. They're up
But
there.
by the way, we have 4 suns now. I would just like to note that.
Yeah, four
Yeah,
sons.
Four
we're
sons.
up to 4 sons, definitely.
People are
Two giant ones that are way farther out, and then our 2 smaller ones. They're almost like pseudo suns.
Before we get too far away from Letty, I was going to say, I just had a question real quick. Do we see his motivations as grandiose or personal power? Like, is he trying to become a personal god or a lich, a demi-lich, an immortal
No,
being,
I
or
think he's about temporal power.
I
he's
don't
trying
think he ever was trying to gain personal power. I think he's always been about trying to
to shape the world?
the idea of shape the world using the ideals of the Slod.
Yeah, he's
Like
He's
he's
not
not
doing it-
he's not like a Palpatine, dude. He's more like I don't know, man. More like a Caesar, I guess.
Yeah.
Because Caesar, even though he conquered Rome, he didn't
He
want
still
all the
loved
power
Rome.
for himself. Yeah, he wanted Rome to grow, which is why he did after he died. He's not like Palpatine. Like Palpatine's more like fucking what's his name? The last Nero. That's who
Nero.
Palpatine's like.
Temporis.
I mean, maybe he stops interfering because the last thing he did was create a race of fucking evil people that are gonna fuck up shit this age too. So maybe he takes himself out. Yeah,
How do you feel about Temporis literally stepping back and kind of like becoming like a not mechanist per se, but his own like mechanist? He becomes a plane.
I was about to say, yeah. What if you pull him out of the game, and whatever it is, he just won the prison? Because if you think about it, right? So everybody here is
Like,
for
I like where you're going, but you know how in core D&D they have Primus as the like big dick entity in Mechanist. Maybe Temporis becomes our Primus.
I'd be down with that.
I
He's super powerful. Like something's gotta be done about him.
was just
So
thinking.
I'm thinking shift him into an event.
yeah, for sure.
I was gonna Fringe season where you just reset. The idea for me is if the prison is made for people like Temporis never learn their lesson. So if he does finally learn his lesson, so like the last attempt at learning his lesson was like, well, no, I've got to use it for good. I know what I'll do. I'll save state and other races too. That'll make it me good. And it still wasn't right. And then eventually he gets to the point where he goes, I think I should just stop fucking with time.
Does he
And-
ever learn his lesson?
And then he learns his lesson, which is like parole.
Maybe the entire idea of this prison plane is that it's like rehabilitation. Like once you figure out what you're doing wrong, you can be released.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the lady in the castle can't go, is because she's so egotistical she can't see past her own fallacies.
Yeah, she's still trying to find a way to break the system when the system's like, no, that's part of the system. Part of the system is having you play around pretending you're breaking the system.
Yeah.
What about Malthus?
Ooh.
Or a greater deity, yeah. Maybe that's the reward. They're like, you're now finally worthy of greater godhood.
Yeah. What if this is all in her head?
It's not a prison. It's actually the final step to becoming a greater deity.
Yeah. That's an interesting thought.
That's these 4 gods made in a bar in a tree. Valhalla.
Oh Lord. What are we thinking about Malthus? He seems to be in a position where I don't think he'd be wiped out.
No. No, he's far too just.
I think he should be an event too, but I think he should be somebody that's like wandering around the earth.
Ooh, a random
kind of like we still have with Corvexus and Ezra's.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like-
around.
I almost like it as literally like a random encounter that anybody in any campaign can ever run into, like the Tinkerer.
Like Kane in Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
super powerful thing that just
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily do anything good or bad, evil or good. Just he's there.
It just is.
And isn't exactly right in the brain.
Definitely not. He's definitely crazy.
Now I remember that Whisper Dern became
Bellowdern.
Bellow Dern. I think we should keep the Bellows alive. So I'm thinking
Absolutely.
he should be just as active as Letty.
Okay.
Well, Crystal's definitely alive. The question is, does Letty know Bellows? We said they're going overt with it.
You know, what if Temporus turns himself in to his own time police? So they're the ones that end up locking him up.
Like
I
You know what I mean? Like he's like, I can't control my own power, so now you guys are in charge of keeping me in check. Does that make sense? So like they're kind of not in play anymore either, because now all their time is devoted to just making sure whatever he didn't fuck everything up. So they're literally like running around time constantly, fixing all the paradoxes that he created by doing the thing he did.
And that other created that were in the order, etc., etc.
So maybe in some adventures they pop up for some high level adventure, and like one of them's there trying to help you complete this dungeon because you have to, because if you don't complete this dungeon, it ends the world or whatever.
The reason the dungeon is active in the first place is because Temporus was like, "This will fix something."
Yeah. So he doesn't necessarily.
He's almost like a small child. He just wants to make everything better.
So with John's analogy, he didn't learn his lesson. He thinks he can still fix shit, but now he's gone from the game trying to do that, and now this other thing we made is controlling him or keeping him in check, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And a totally separate thing that we don't have to do, but it's like a separate series of adventures or stories.
Hobson was like, you're not going to contain me. You're just going to play cleanup behind me.
Or they realize they have to play cleanup after him. However you want to do it, whether he turn himself in or just starts doing whatever he wants.
I like it. I like basically the time cops are containing.
I like it, but now I think the true Bruja are on Temporus' side, and the Bruja are the ones playing cleanup.
Yeah.
So that brings into question Nolidad and Eyeless.
Consumed by the nothing. Same with like Malthus.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. That's a lot going on there. Time is weird.
Well, that's why we could just take out the story by saying what we said. Like it's just gone. Like it doesn't exist here anymore.
Yeah.
That's kind of
constantly doing stuff.
Thing.
Okay.
So I could be like, let's clean up time. Before this turns into a thing.
All right. So
I don't know.
Eyeless, I think, hit event status. Essentially, both of them, one of them is on Temporus' side of just messing with shit, and the other side is playing cleanup. So anytime you want to do any sort of time-based shit, you're going to have agents of the True Bruja and agents of the Bruja also making appearances.
Yeah,
We all create the
and
thing.
it's going to be both of them at the same time. Like,
So Quantum Leap, where you have the Leapers and the evil Leapers.
Yeah, it's kind of like the new Loki show. Like that's basically what it is. It's the time council or whatever trying to stop itself.
yeah.
So we have managed to go through and reduce our list of avatars down to three.
What happened to Lord Mungus and Cento?
They
out
are
of
now
play.
the stewards of their
Yeah.
own thing, of the sons. Yeah, because I have
Okay.
Whisper Letty,
Sorry.
Bellows Dern, and
Yeah.
who else do you have?
I have Mal. Nope, he's an event boss. Never mind. I have Whisper Letty. I have
Lasermane. Lasermane's still around.
is
He's just
coming
not.
He's
back
not
in
here right now. Yeah, he's out. He's out right now.
Oh, I
come
can
back in one round.
I can't modify the spreadsheet. Sons in line 9. What is that? 502. Oh,
Oh, their sons. Thank you.
that no! I read it. I was like, they're stewarding what? What happened? They said something.
Yeah, there you go. We're
And
good.
that means the Inevitables are hunting Malthius, who's one of our event bosses, and also Temporis, who's an event boss. So that's interesting.
How about we add the queen as an avatar? What if she chooses this as her time to actually come out and start fucking with the world since everybody else is gone now?
Are we
Right.
just calling her the queen?
The queen
I
for
get to
now.
call her the queen or the empress. I don't know. The
like
Empress.
the lady in the lake, the lady in the mountain.
Landscape, lady of what is it? 1,000 faces or whatever.
Or lady of
I like the
1,000
Empress.
The
I like
empress.
The Empress.
1,000 masks. Okay, what was her name?
We never made a name for it. Huh, who are we talking about?
Escape lady.
We never made a name for her.
No, I meant the lady, the actual Planescape. I can't remember her name.
Oh, the Lady of Blades.
Lady of Blades.
Are you talking about the one who rules Sigil?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Yeah. Good lord.
the sentient Centinalia that was in the blue still is still in the blue still.
Mhm.
Yes, but the blue steel is also part of the prison for the giant mass.
Yeah, it's also a ring. It's like a Saturn. Yeah. So the cosmology of our world is we have a blue sun and a red sun of the different ones that are linked in a ring of this pale steel metal and asteroid stuff.
Yeah.
And then farther away out are our two normal suns and then several moons of an unknown number. Plus the one moon has a giant orbit that's controlling the flow of magic. So that's fun.
What I meant was Centenalian. His sentient, we said, was in the blue steel that fell
Yes.
back, that was then collected by the Whispers.
Some of it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the Whispers are all dead besides Letty.
No.
No.
The Whispers are still an organization.
I thought we said most of the orders around the planet fell apart.
Well, yeah,
There's probably, much like in the comic books for like Star Wars, once the Grand Sith Order broke apart, there's a bunch of assholes calling themselves Sith.
Well, yeah, I was just trying to figure out, like, where does the weapon cache go? Is it lost?
I think it's probably divided between the ones that are left. So now you do have they have their own version of kind of like a lightsaber, I guess, or a special weapon.
Or Mandalore.
Or Mandalore armor, whatever you want to make it. Like they all have that. Whoever's left, that's how you can know that they're real. Like they're an actual real infiltrator because they have that item. They wouldn't have it otherwise.
Yeah,
because all the rest is up in space.
Just putting the seeds out for the cool stuff.
Yeah, just wait till in an age or so when we start doing space travel.
I kind of feel like maybe Alatoon should be back on Earth too. Like maybe during that giant fight, the sword came back to Earth for the second time. That way she's in play.
Cinto was wielding it.
Yeah, so maybe like in the fight he had to get rid of it. Like he had to jettison it or something. Something separated from him.
Yeah, and then it's buried somewhere.
That way, Alatoon
somewhere. And all the other souls.
Legion is somewhere.
His Legion.
It's somewhere. I like it.
Are we doing Spanish in our chat now? Because if you do not Spanish, German. You do German around me and Pookie for too long, bad shit happens.
You do anything around the two of you and bad shit happens.
That's real talk. That is real talk.
Of Mexican food and then drink too many beers. Bad
Hey,
shit.
I had my first Asian buffet in like over a year.
Is that a euphemism?
It was all you can eat. So.
Oh!
That led to tossing some. What was it? Tossing halflings, tossing gnomes.
Tossing some midgets, dude.
I thought you
Tosses some midgets.
Toss some midgets, baby.
He said buffet, you said toss, and I was like, is Steve jumping?
Salad. I knew you were about to say salad. No. Where Steve works, that's where all the salad gets tossed at now.
Steve's a professional salad tosser watcher.
Can we start calling you sous chef? I want to call you sous chef.
Sous chef Steve.
Sous chef Steve.
Violent, you know.
Oh shit.
Tender.
You guys are all fired.
That's just going to come out next time. We're going to be like, hey, welcome to Epoch. And I'll be like, it's sous chef Steve.
I'm sous chef Steve.
I'm firing the lot of you. Next week, I'm just going to have a whole new set of hosts.
Next week, I will have new friends. You are terminated. You are terminated. Get out of here. Go. Come on.
All right.
So we're going to attempt round 2 and round 3 next week, right? As long as Godzilla versus King Kong doesn't happen again.
I'm not going to promise anything. I thought we were doing round 1 and 2 this time, and then round 1 turned into. I don't even know how to approach this.
Good times. Good times.
When we started today, there were complaints about too many avatars, and now we're literally down to 4.
I have a way to replace it. Maybe we add an action to like the conquest order, where it's like rebuild civilization or something like that. So like during that round,
and we move it to this rebuild.
Instead of conquest, it's like rebuild, like rebuild round, rebuilding round.
I think T'Challa's replaced one of us, so that's okay.
Okay, Mike is working. We're doing the races though, right? Which civs and city spots?
No. So
it's all going to 0.
We're not
0.
Oh,
yeah. So next time,
are there any
we will start rebuilding civs.
Just real quick, would we say
standing
to the disease types, like the merc catfolk or the slod? Well, the slod's already faded.
Slods have been gone for a while. As a race, have been gone for a while.
Are the star metal gnome thing? Are they immune?
No, nothing's immune. So it's like Captain Trips in the Stand. Everything died except for like 1% of the population, and those 1% live because Narlathep threw the worms into those people.
So no.
I was just saying, in my opinion, the races who were already downtrodden would have a better chance of rebuilding civilizations faster because the resources are more spread out.
On the men for longer too.
Yeah.
And if you had a full-on empire like Ractonia or something like that, I don't think that comes back because like there should be some kind of penalty for those larger concentrated areas.
The humanoids just call themselves Ractonians instead of humans.
Or I said, maybe the Amazons take it over, and now it's Amazonia now. It's in the Ractonian lands, but it's no longer Ractonia. I mean, whatever we want to do. I'm just saying, like, that's, in my opinion, the bigger civilizations should be fucked.
What about
those poor Anthemors are done, dude. Like,
because they're all concentrated together.
Anthemors are terrible.
What about the Treants, since they have experienced and actually came back from this fungal infection before?
Oh, yeah. Yule's actually an event avatar as well.
It's been one for a while. I'm just saying, I think it affects everybody broadly. That way we don't have to figure out who's affected more. Everybody's fucked.
Was any life giants or anything? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was some terrible shit.
The only stipulation. Yeah, I'm with you, John. The only stipulation I had, like Valhalla, like the city of Valhalla, would have been crippled by this because they're all concentrated in an area. Whereas the psychic gnomes that were left over, blue gnomes or the blue goblins, they have a better chance because they were already in tribes and shit. They weren't a concentrated civilization anymore.
Yeah.
When they're looking for resources and vying for shit, they have a head start.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's what would happen. That's what happens after Empire falls anyway.
Trying to keep an infrastructure up. Trying to
keep,
they
get, instead of trying to keep one up, they just get to make a new one, which is far easier than repairing one.
Because they're not holding on to ancient preconceived thought processes.
So yeah, maybe conquest phase we're going to add a rebuild, like a rebuild
I think so, like rebuild Civ or something like that. Man, maybe
make it so that some kind of incentivization to adding more cities. A lot of our civs only had, like, other than the Horde, which technically had 3 different races in 3 cities, most of these places haven't really developed their systems.
They have one major city.
Yeah.
They didn't build large cities. So
that'll be definitely something to look at.
You know what? Actually, I think we'll sit down and have a longer discussion on this, but we may be adding a phase going forward to ensure that we have a little bit more city and map growth so we know what's going on.
Okay, so then we're just wrap the resolution.
Yep.
For what we've got now. Quick question then. Do you want to present to the audience the idea of the other activities we could be doing as far as RP or follow, microscope, or any of these things? And
well, we definitely want to. We're gonna start doing more than just our Monday night Project Epoch. We want to bring in some other stuff. We want to do like some question and answers. I want the community. I mean, a lot of people who are on our Twitch right now know us personally, but not everyone does. And eventually, maybe people can go back and watch some of this old stuff and go, "I want to know more about these guys." So we want to put more content out. Because I think the big thing.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, like, if we were going to find a day that we could RP, what would be most wanted to be seen out of?
I think right now, as far as that goes, we need to figure out our schedules first. And we can put up some straw polls onto our social media to start figuring out what we would possibly do for the role playing or whatever. But it's another 2 weeks before I know my schedule going out, probably 6 months in advance. So right now, at least from my side, I can't begin to discuss that.
Just trying to attempt to fill air as far as what would they like to see out of the options available. Like, if you're running RP, would you rather see L5R, Call of Cthulhu one-shots? Would you rather see World of Darkness?
Or would you like to see us do stuff like Follow or Microscope where we go back into this world that we're already in and dealing with?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, which routes? I was just trying to get a feel.
There's a lot of things, yeah. Like I said, we're at 37 followers. If we can get that up to 50, then we can start unlocking some other things with Twitch. So, if you like what we do, press the button.
Don't forget to follow.
Yep. And we are working on that widget for participation with the audience. So
polls is something I really want.
The death to comedy. That's going to be our next thing. So I think that's pretty much it. I know we're leaving off a little early compared to what we normally do, but shit, that was a hell of a round.
Yeah. That's it. But hey guys, thanks for coming out. We love having y'all out. We love doing this, and we'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
This is the Bull Critters Corner. Have a good night.
Have a good one, guys.
Good one.